And we are live. Good evening, everybody. It is Monday evening, January 14th, 2019. And welcome to all of you live tonight. Let me go ahead and close this browser sound on the YouTube side. Welcome to make sure my sound was getting out there. Going to spend a few minutes with Nephew Narsa. I hope more than a few minutes with him tonight. He's a busy guy. He does trucking. And a couple things I want to just preface before he comes on tonight. We'll let the chat propagate a bit here and fill up. A few things I want to mention. I am going to send him a link. Hello, Hangry Hank. Hello, Missy Jenn in the house. And for anybody that's modding tonight, you know my style. You know, basically let her rip as long as they're not attacking other people in the chat. It's fine. I'm not, you know, I'm here to engage people. Hello, Robin. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Well, I'm telling you what, Hangry Hank, I never knew Narsa was going to come on tonight. I'm pleasantly surprised he did, which means that he has a little bit of downtime tonight and can spend a little time with me. That's something been very rare with him as a ham and egger. Hello, Sherry B. Hello, Christy. Hello, Lynn. I'm feeling really good. 1 week post-surgery, I'm feeling good. The next thing is, you know, getting Missy Jenn ready for surgery coming up. I'm putting all my attention on that and driving her to make sure that she has a successful surgery. I'm a little nervous, you know, somebody that has, you know, a debilitating disease. Recovery is not it's not something that you take for granted. So I want to make very sure that, you know, I give her 100% of my attention and make sure that she gets the best medical intervention and the best care. Hello, Slip Kid. Nice to see you. So that's next on the agenda, and then hopefully it will be Reno. Okay, here to protect this chat from all attackers. Thank you, Lieutenant General Sir George Tank Commander. I appreciate that. You know, one of the things on YouTube is that we consistently have the association game. If you hang with somebody, then you know, you get tarred with that. Well, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. People can have, hey, Dr. Strangelove, people can feel what they want to feel, and I've never tried to convince other people otherwise, but I always try to deal with individuals one-on-one, regardless of what may happen in other chats. I think that I'm a very fair person too. Hey, Vicky, to wit, yesterday when the Boyd is burning and the drama community is burning, with all of the drama between the various chat rooms, the pirates and Binnies, and it's worth noting that I hold a wrench in both of those rooms. You know, so and also you know, a couple other rooms, Randy's room in the drama community, and you know, a few other rooms too, because I think I tried to see individuals and not get embroiled and not get biased about things. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of you know, trying to keep an open mind and trying to keep open communications with people. Now, Narsa, said my nephew Narsa, and we are kind of like, we are a bit like family. And I've always said, if you're new to the Boyd, which a lot of people are, and I would say the great majority of people are new to it, that have crossed over from the drama and the other communities, the reality is that you don't know a lot of the backstory on things. You don't know a lot of the backstory of Narsa and Elvis and Drury and other family members, you know, having met family over the years of Elvis's. There's a lot of history there. So when people come in and they're relatively new and they take stocks of situations, it's very easy to say, you know, throw this person overboard or do this or do that. Hello, Tom Finland. You know, it's very easy to telescope things and to, you know, to magnify things into the current time. And Narsa is somebody that I first met and got to know way back in 2014. And the thing that struck me about Narsa is, and the thing that makes life so frustrating sometimes and so colorful at other times, is the, hello, Sean, is the fact that some people in life are really hard driven, hard driving people, and other people are just totally opposite. And this has been the experience of mine with, you know, Narsa and Marshall. So I quite distinctly remember the first time I met Marshall before I met Narsa before I ever met Elvis, believe it or not. You may not be, you may find that kind of strange, but that's the reality of it. That I've been friendlier with him. Of course, I got to know him through the Syrian Elvis Nomadic Van Dweller channel, which was Elvis's original channel. Hello, Joey D. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping by tonight. Got to know him through the original channel, and then we went to Florida and met up. We had a real nice meetup October 2015 in Florida. And the thing that struck me when I first met him, hello, Coach, the thing that struck me when I first met Narsa was how hard driven he was, how single-mindedly focused he was on being an over-the-road trucker. The reason being, of course, that he had known Drury for quite a while through the RV hangouts of 2014. Hello, Lydia. He'd known Narsa, had known of Drury, and had been hanging around the chats that we had back then. And I guess Drury's stories about being an over-the-road trucker was really, it really inspired Narsa to look into trucking. And then all of a sudden, man, I never saw somebody that was so driven, so absolutely driven to get a Class A commercial license and be an over-the-road trucker, to the point that when he turned 21, I mean, literally, and I think his birthday is in May, literally the day he turned 21 in May, he was at the trucking office and signed on. And I don't think there are many people that pushed through trucking school so fast and got on the road and were just so driven to do trucking. Now, you know, Narsa's had other thoughts that he'll share with you about, you know, about trucking. It's not all lollipops and roses, but he has the ability to walk away sometimes, drive independently when he wants to, pick up loads, and it gives him a certain degree of freedom that's kind of nice. I will also say that I have also spent time with Elvis's sister, Janet. You know, so despite what you might think about Rosie just being a recent glamour on, or, you know, on for the latest drama or the latest go round, I've been around since 2014 with this, so I have a little bit of standing in here when it comes to dealing and knowing the family. And I've always thought of Narsa as kind of a nephew to me. And I've really always enjoyed his company. We've always laughed like crazy. I mean, you can go back and watch the October of 2015, hello, Oda Mae Brown, meetups in Florida. When we hung out, we had a blast. We get along great together. I still remember rolling around in his Ford Ranger, and just the excellent times, things that we did. Well, I'm going to get to that, Coach. I'm going to talk about that. You know, it's frustrating. Like I say, when you have one person that's very hard driven, and then you have another person that's like at the polar opposite of that, and just wants to take life on the, what I call life on the shuffle, as opposed to life on the hustle. You know, and that's what I always thought in my mind. Narsa's life on the hustle, and Elvis is, you know, life on the shuffle. Just doing the minimum, and, you know, kind of thinking about in terms of today and not looking forward to the future. Hello, Jack Sparrow. Hello, Street Life. Nice to see you. Narsa is a great guy. You know, I can't say anything negative about Narsa. We talk on the phone, get him on here. Jen wants to come over and say hi to him. Hey, Buff Carrot, nice to see you. So it's not always easy for me to be so cut and dry and brutal with people in life, even though at times they're brutal, and I feel at times frustrated. I feel at times angry. I feel at times sad. I feel at times despondent about things. But what I'm going to refuse to do, and I'll just tell you right now, if you just think that, I just walk away and throw up my hands and toss people aside, I'm sorry, I don't do that. So if you don't want to hear anymore, you can hit the unsub button, move on. I won't be angry. It won't, I will miss you and miss hanging around with you, but I'm just going to be right up front right now about that. I'm also going to be up front. I don't give any money at the current time. I don't have the money to give, number one. Number two, I haven't given money. I think I had $10 at Christmas time. But other than that, I don't have the money to chip into anybody's kitty right now. I'm trying to save for my own RV right now so that I can get on the road and finally enjoy my dream a little bit here. So if I show up on the chats the same as everybody else does, I like it, I enjoy, I watch the content, I laugh, the flea market today, the African shirt, I enjoy watching the content and doing that. Do I enjoy rants and things like that? Oh, heck no. So I'm going to go ahead and send Narsa the link. We'll probably talk about a few funny things too, because it's, we do talk about things, we do have other things going on in life besides Uncle Marshall, if you can believe it or not. So let me go ahead and hit, let's see, there it is. There's his link there. Okay, so I just went ahead and sent him, Jack Sparrow said, money's not the issue. I think the paneling Marshall is what people don't like, just thoughts. I get you, Jack Sparrow. I hear that. But if you see a lot of my hangouts like last night when we talked about Class B RVs, I had a particular reason like to ask him about the Road Trek 170, 190s, and 210s, and it was a very on target. It was a very nice hangout. There was no derogatory. He helped me decide about the differences between the rigs, and I appreciated hearing that. But if you ever thought that I would have Elvis on a panel and allow him to just ever rage, or anybody, Bergs or anybody, to come on and just rage, they get shown the exit door, okay? And then it's like if they want to behave that way again, they get shown the exit door. It's just been a consistent way. Nobody sits there and dominates and, and Bergs gets booted sometimes. Yeah, I'll put him on the phone to let him have his say because he's got a mouthpiece on him, and he's another person that is frustratingly different in life. And when he's not tooted up on steel reserve, it's like it's like a Jekyll. It's like a Jekyll and a Hyde, and it's very frustrating to me. Nobody wants to be yelled at. Nobody wants to have somebody come on and just screaming and slurring, and it's not fun. It's not a good thing. But when I have somebody on that's coherent, no, I don't think Bergs rages all the time. coat. I think Bergs gets shown the gate, and I think that he went through a very tough week and a half. We are week and a half with you know, the loss of subs and all that that came on. So yeah, just let him know that. Let me just call Narsa a minute here. Okay, I sent you the link. It should be there. So I'm live. Yeah, go ahead. You take your time. Okay, you're busy. All right. Yeah, he's doing a few things over there. He's going to be along in a couple minutes. He's an alpha male on there. Now let's talk about some things like let's talk about family matters. And I'm not family on the in the true. I'm not surprised at the last Jackson Sparrow, but in my opinion, things with Elvis have gotten better over the last, compared to 2 years ago when it was absolutely horrendous with, and especially last summer with the cursing and the things that are featured on Tucker's fundraising things, which I don't, hey, that's great. You know, anything that puts money in St. Jude's pocket, I'm all for that. You know, I'm 100% behind that, but it does take issues from the past and pollute current minds with that. And that's just my honest opinion about that. It you know, will never move forward if, you know, if the past keeps being brought up that way. So it's just my thought about it. I thought that things have been much calmer this year. There wasn't a lot going on with the summer because Elvis was doing the trucking. And I've told you all honestly before that when the idea was brought up to me in the conversations back in August and September about trucking, I'll be damn honest with you, I didn't think that it would pan out. Okay. And my only thought to Marshall was, man, if you do, it'd be better if you didn't do this thing. You know, because if you go down the line and you do it part way or you bust out of this trucking thing, then, you know, you're going to leave some bad will behind you. You know, because you do have Narsa and you do have Drury that are pressing very much to get you into trucking because they have a good heart and they want to see you do something that's going to put food in your pocket, allow you to get a nice rig, allow you to take some time off to enjoy life. And, you know, ask Marshall and he'll tell you that's exactly what I said. I worry about starting things that you cannot finish. I think that's a hallmark of just defeat and failure in life, is to begin something and not carry it through. So once he was underway, though, what choice do we have except to be supportive of that and go for it? And we didn't see much of Marshall. We saw a video pop up now and then at a truck stop, and he got on with the trainer. And I will admit, I was a little upset when I heard that Narsa was not going to train him anymore, because I feared at that point in time that his hopes of completing and being, you know, having the internship besides just the license, having those required miles to fulfill not just the CDL requirement, but to be able to be a trucker for, you know, an independent trucker and be out there over the road yourself, was there was no chance that was going to happen anymore. Zero. Because you know, and I know, as soon as Marshall got with another trainer, although I still don't know exactly what happened, and I never felt it my business to dig into it because I'm not a nosy person. I just knew there was no hope of him completing training with another trainer, because nobody's going to give you the latitude that family members do, or the patience to teach you how to do things. So I knew that it was done. Thank you, Chutz. I'm glad you enjoyed the Kenwood restoration. I didn't want him to go to, you know, honest to God, it was the security license, the security license, the security license, the security license. You've already got that. You're already qualified in the state of, you're already qualified in the state of Florida to be that. And the trucking, though, was Narsa and Jory being over-the-road truckers saying, Elvis, this is a great thing to be. This can help you fit your lifestyle around, trucking can fit around your lifestyle. You can take time off like Narsa does, and you can do your own thing. And then go back. You can have your rig. You can park on the Walmart parking lot. You can boondock. You can do your hangouts. But meanwhile, you're getting some coin in your pocket. So their hearts were definitely in the right place. Eric says, I was sincerely rooting for Marshall. It was my final straw. Yep. Well, that's where we are. You know, and my thought was, what are you going to do next? Well, and the answer is, I enjoy the bohemian life. I enjoy being out there and living free, and I'm not what did they say? I'm houseless, but I'm not homeless. You know, I have the rig, and I can live my life, and I'm a YouTube entertainer, and if people want to make donations to me, then, you know, that's the way I'm going to run my life. Now, to me, you've left a trail of financial obligations and family obligations behind you. And I think that they have to be fulfilled. And I think that you do need to seek some type of gainful employment, even if part-time, to be able to take care of family members. Because Narsa did invest a lot of time into teaching. Now, Narsa did make extra money, or did make money on the loads during those training periods. I don't think they call it like an A period, the first 4 weeks or something like that. You get enhanced money, but, you know, does enhanced money really cover the time with Marshall? You know, does it really cover the you know about that? So you know, that's the other kind of the coin. Yeah, driving was the perfect job. I would agree, it was the perfect job, but it requires a certain commitment. It also requires a real degree of courage to be an over-the-road trucker, and confidence. You can't go down the road when you have 60, 80,000 pounds behind you and questioning your abilities behind the wheel when you're coming over Donner Summit, over I-80, or you know, Dead Man's Curve up in the Northwest. I mean, that's not a moment when you want to feel, you know, when you want to feel your skin crawl and you start to break out in a cold sweat, because you can kill people. And I'm going to bottom line it for you, for everybody out there that's listening tonight, is I feared most of all that because of a lack of confidence and I dare say a lack of ability, that something terrible could happen out on the road, resulting in injury or death. Few things shocked me in my life more than looking at Jory's video when he was driving for night transportation. And you can look at it on the Jory Nadoff channel. When he was driving for night transportation, and he fell asleep behind the wheel in Alabama, and had a terrible crash on his rig and was in a coma. And even when all that had happened to him, people still came and stole his wallet and picked the rig clean while he was being transported to the hospital. And I kept having these dreams about something like that happened to the Marshall, or some poor family that might be in the minivan going down the road, and an oh shit moment happens. and people die. So now I thought that it's just as well that he's not going to be driving and being a trucker, because although with the Lisa Marie, with the tires on that, the potential is less to do catastrophic damage because there's not that continuous discomfort. And I remember, I had the 29-foot GMC motorhome that I never had a comfortable moment driving that rig around, okay? Because it was too big. You had to worry about turning a corner. It is scary stuff. It's very scary stuff. And I remember talking to Marshall a couple times, and he's like, "Man, this stuff is difficult." And I think that's why he got frustrated when he would do the truck stop shower video and talk about how he wasn't getting any credit for doing something that does take some courage that you and I think should just be a regular job. And you do your job, you just do it, right? But for him, I think it was, he had the feeling like he was putting his life on the road. I mean, his life on the line when he was getting behind the wheel. And I don't want anybody driving that doesn't feel confident. It's a hell of a big difference. You may not like Boris, but there's a hell of a lot of difference between the confidence that Boris exudes in trucking and Marshall exudes in trucking. It's like night and day. Keith Thompson said very confused here. So I'll answer question. We're still with Marshall. Narsa is taking care of a little bit of paperwork or something. So I couldn't do it, and I thought about doing it, Cindy, and I can't do it. I don't have the guts to do that. People cut in front of you when you're in a semi, and you swerve, and you have that load on the road. Hello, Jan. So you can imagine. Hey, Sambo and Buff. Well, you can drive with that mindset. I'm fine driving my panel van. I'm fine driving a 19-foot Coachman camper van. But what I'm not confident in is driving a 28-foot Class A RV. I don't have that confidence in it. We all find our confidence point. Colleen said, my father was a log truck driver, and I was taught to drive a semi before I was taught to drive a car. Well, okay. I see Narsa deleted his stream. Why did he do that? I guess he was probably afraid he would get struck or something. I don't know. I'm just not sure. Boy, ask him when he came in. Yeah, exciting times. It's awesome. So, when we talk about money, yeah, you owe a debt to people. And I think society would malfunction if debts weren't paid and obligations weren't paid. But I will remind you of my own experience that of all the money that I've lent on the years, which has been thousands of dollars on YouTube, not one person that ever asked me to borrow money for any specific reason ever bothered to pay it back. So this is not something that's just particular. It's just particular to Marshall. This stuff goes on. People lending people money, particularly in families. I lent a brother money and just ended up telling him, don't even bother. There was no chance ever being paid back. Just don't pay it back. Don't even trouble your mind with it. Yeah, I'm not sure, Carrie. I was in and out getting eating dinner. I'm not sure. Yeah, Linda, people do that and it's wrong, but it does happen. Well, Joe King, it's like no matter what, nothing would ever normalize. I mean, you've come in with your own mindset that Elvis is a POS, and in so many ways he is. But like it's like when he was going along trucking, you know, you said I'm not going to give him any kind of kudos, which was certainly your right not to, because even if you accomplish something, you know, you're going to be held responsible for your past deeds. And I get that. You know, I understand that. You're very honest and very straight up with your feelings about that, and I appreciate that. I've no doubt where you're coming from. But let's face it, Joe King, family members lend other families members. Family members have disagreements with other family members. Family members get inheritances, and estates are supposed to be settled, and people don't get their proper cut of estates. We know it's a fact. Or when somebody dies, there's a mad scramble to rush into the house to see who can pick the house clean first. Thank you, Jackie King. I appreciate it, honey. Thank you very much. Do you think that it was the shirt that Elvis would trigger? No. Well, I'll tell you, red-headed leprechaun, hey Dave, if it had been the orange shirt from the flea market before, man, it's lucky he opted for the purple one. No, Joe King, I'm not saying all families. I'm saying a lot of families probably have family squabbles. People borrow money. People fight over inheritances. This is not an uncommon thing in life. Yeah, yes, that has happened more than once to me. People showing up that you have not seen in years. Yeah. Nowadays, I don't accept money back if I do, but if I get it back, it's a bonus. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's like, what do I always tell you, Jen? Huh? What do I tell you? I said, whenever I lend somebody needs something, and I said, what do I tell you?
Don't expect anything.
Say it nice and loud.
Don't expect to be paid back.
Don't expect to be paid back. That's it. And hello, Snickerdoodle. How are you? People fight over Kenwood receivers. That's it. So, you know, but we're still waiting for Narsa to come in. But I understand people get angry. And people tune into the shit show, but it's not scripted, and it's not something that just happened recently.
This just vanish into the woodworks.
Yeah, people just vanish into the woodwork. So, can I borrow $20? I promise you'll pay back. Mallory Williams, you probably would pay back.
I mean, not even an attempt to pay a dime or a quarter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That tells me it's just not specific to Marshall. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like if I was to categorize a lot of my experiences and why I got into a pinch in December, it was like that. But I don't have any regrets about December. But I'm just saying from stuff from Jen's laughing at me like that.
Yes, people had multiple times asked. It never came back.
Yeah, Chris Jimans next rig, you know, and then you know, I see the negative. No, Hangry Hank. It's you know, I've been on Elvis's hangouts, and he's been on mine, and met in Vegas, and met in Florida. There's nothing new. There's nothing for views. I mean,
Hi, Becca.
Well, what's the damage, Joe King? What's the damage? Let's think about Joe King. Let's talk about the damage. What is the damage that was done? It was damage to Narsa to collect a debt as he sees fit. And it's also damage if there's a relationship with the trucking company to collect monies that are due. The latter one is just in the normal course of commerce, right? I mean, there's mechanisms in place to recover debts that are owed to corporations. There's also the fact that Narsa hard sold Elvis to the trucking company, okay? And he worked very hard because from what I understood, the trucking company didn't initially want to take Marshall on because he didn't have any work experience. And, you know, Narsa put some of his personal capital on the line, you know, to try to get him that position. So I can understand when Narsa says, you know, now I got to go in and, hey, what happened to your uncle? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you know, been there, done that. I'm, you know, a lot of us suffer from the bleed over effect of things that are done. So what do you think about Narsa exposing going to scam the trucking? I don't think that there's any chance it can happen, Joe King. I don't think there's any chance that unemployment can be collected. Number one, you have to have time on the job. And no matter what your state is in, Missouri or Florida, you have to accrue a certain amount of employment before you can collect. Therefore, I'm going to go on the record and say that there's zero, Z-E-R-O, chance of getting unemployment. So I don't fear for the taxpayers in that regard. Zero chance of getting unemployment because it's not qualified. I think you have to work at least like 10 months or something like that to be able to get that. Yeah, and they record whether you were fired or quit. And even if you were fired, you still may not have enough time on the job to collect unemployment. That's just a requirement of, or else people would go in, throw boxes around Walmart, get fired, and just walk out the next day and go collect unemployment. You need a certain amount. A certain amount of time. Harry Cruz said Narsa told the truth about Marshall and Rosie. It needed to be said so that Marshall doesn't scam more women and the elderly out of money. That's very true, and that's a fine cause. You know, don't donate. If you don't, you know, if the message doesn't resonate you and the history doesn't resonate with you, but understand this, that the other side of the game, in my opinion, is that people donate just to aggravate the situation and annoy the people that are frustrated with Marshall, you know, living the life that he wants to live. And you can see when somebody drops $1 or $2 or a Tony Abbott 99 cents or something, you know, what do you do about that? I mean, how do you counter that? People all of a sudden can look at somebody and say, well, this guy's kind of being bullied and wouldn't move my needle, but I don't know if it'll be, I don't know. And there's few people who ever really meet a tragic end, Harry Cruz, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's 99. That's like 99.99% of the donations are, you know, just people that enjoy throwing their little wrench into the into the works. But I encourage everybody to work and to get a job, but I'm not going to sit there and beat somebody into the ground. If they want to run that lousy show and go down the road and try to exist on you know, a buck here, buck here, and a buck there, good luck with that. You know, I mean, it's like, I don't know how that goes. What about, well, I'm just saying, let's take the case in point of Laura. I mean, I knew Laura before Marshall did. She was on Missy Jenn's and my side chats for months here. She looks at somebody like Marshall. She said, this is a guy that's living in his van. He seems like a nice, you know, entertaining fellow. And then she meets in person, and then she comes away with a totally different and a negative experience. I don't think that she's going to donate again. So it's like, I just think most of the people donate to, you know, to just throw a wrench in. Someone said it earlier, what about his actual intent to defraud? I mean, let me see that. I got to scroll up. I'm losing my pointer, my little pointer. Let me see. Someone said it earlier. Where are they all?
Hello?
Hey, Narsa, what about his actual intent to defraud this family man? I'm not whoever portrayed Sean. Don't use hyperbole. I never presented him as a family man, and I resent that tremendously. That characterization. You know, it's that kind of thinking that just pushes people backwards. I know that you're, you know, I know where you stand on it, but you don't have to use hyperbole to, you know, to blow out a position. Hey, Narsa, how you doing?
What's going on, Rosie? How are you?
Hey, it's good to see you. I'm just gonna have Jen pop over just to say hi. She wants to look. She wants to look at you and just make sure you're okay here. Hold on 1 minute. Let me get you in the screen here. Let me see if I can put you on. Let me see if I can pop you on present for a second. I'm having a little bit of issue with the computer here. Hold on, Jen. Narsa's here. Let's see if I can just get this. There we go. Hold on 1 second, Narsa.
Take your time.
All right, there's come on around, Jen. Say hi to pop around over here, okay? Say hi to there he is. There's Narsa there. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi, Narsa.
Jen's like, I can't believe I'm going to see Narsa on cam tonight.
Yeah.
She's usually asleep when you're on later. She's the one that worried about you on snow and ice and all that. Narsa said he don't do that. He ain't going to run on snow and ice.
I don't know what route you're going to be driving, but this week there's going to be a major cold front coming through.
I'll be okay. I'll be primarily south. I'll be okay.
The entire north and the east, they're going to be blizzards and up to minus 34.
Holy crap! He's gonna be running south.
So you want to be like, I mean, it's going to be even 29 in Florida.
Yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be fine. Not to worry. You know.
Right. Well, she just popped over to say she wanted to say hi. She wanted to say hi to you. And,
you're gonna be safe, and you're looking good.
Yeah.
You're looking good too. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm really proud of you for working hard, paying your taxes, and just keeping on trucking, and you're making your aunties very proud.
Yeah, every day you're making us proud.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Every day,
making us proud. I was telling Narsa, a lot of people.
I love you, and be safe.
Hey, dirty dog.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't really know. I do, from back in the day, how driven you were for trucking. Remember we talked about that? You just couldn't even wait. Your 21st birthday, May. I know you're born in May someday, but you were right down there on that birthday. You already had your paperwork ready to go.
Yeah. As soon as midnight struck, I had to wait like 5 minutes so that the computer system could update and put in the apps, and the same week I started.
I mean, I never in my life knew somebody that was so driven by that. And well, I'm gonna let you freewheel. I mean, I heard a lot of your hangout earlier. Obviously, you're frustrated as fuck about the turn of events and the way that things turned out, and the money that and the time that you invested in that. If you had to do it all over again, though, would you have pursued the same thing? Or would you have said, like I did, that I just didn't think it would ever really come good?
What do you mean? What do you mean, like start all over? Like
Like,
As
let's
in
say you
training,
could go, knowing what you know now, obviously you wouldn't go down the road that you just went down. But did you really think he would have what it takes to carry through to the end? I mean, you know better than anybody. Or did you think, I'll just roll the dice here? And because you put a lot of personal capital on the line too with the company and, getting him in the door and all that. So.
I rolled the dice. That was it was a lost bet, but I know he's got what it takes because the way he lives is already like a driver. He's already in a little metal box all the time. You know, he likes to drive. He's a good driver. He's good going straight down the road. You know, he's got good people skills. He's calm. He's got patience and stuff. It's just what overcame his success was his laziness. You know, his laziness and his just lazy. I don't know how to explain it to you like any other way. Like, he's just lazy. Like, just the fact that he knows that he's got something to do. The way he is, he's rebellious. You know, and so the fact that someone is giving him work to do, it's like it's his inner rebel is saying, no, I'm not going to do it. Even though there's nothing wrong with it, even though he's perfectly capable of doing this job, he just doesn't have the drive to do it. So it is what it is. The only reason I took the gamble because I figured is if he does make it, he'll be good for what he's worth. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
he's not going to be a problem.
Oh man, it's like it's an ideal life if you want to be like winter away or do something, right, Narsa? I mean, you can walk away for a while. You can go. It's always a load to be hauled somewhere, and I mean, it was perfect. I mean, it was the perfect dream setup job, right?
Yeah. He was talking about all this vans that he wanted to buy and all this stuff. I said, well, everything you want to do takes money. So you don't have a college education. You're not willing to go to college or pay for it. This is the best job that you can do that makes the most amount of money and the shortest amount of time with no college. This is it. Take it or leave it. And it's not like it's a bad job. You know what I mean? It's not like we're scraping like gum off of the public street sidewalk or something. Like, this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or worse. You know,
or worse. I mean, it's a job. It's a roof over your head. You know, it's. Please hold on. Let me see what they're saying over here.
Oh, they wanted my moderator, Oda Mae Brown. People were asking to sub you up. She's just putting a link to your channel over there. So I'll read any. Can you see the side chat, Narsa? Are you able to see it on here?
No, my phone can't multitask. I just got a message from the company. I'm gonna have to pull it in here to get some work done. Okay. I'm gonna pop back in a little bit. Okay. I just gotta go talk to these people really quick.
No problem.
Go ahead. Be inside, and I'll be back in a moment.
Take care of your business, Narsa. Business first.
Okay, I'll talk to y'all in a couple minutes. I'll be back. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, so he'll be back on in a couple minutes, but I want to ask him about the confidence thing. You know, the amount of confidence you need to get behind the rig. I know he talked about being in the metal box and driving it, but the metal box is 9,000 pounds. If I remember, the gross vehicle weight of the camper van I had was 9,000 pounds. But 9,000 pounds. Now let's multiply that by 20, and then you're talking about 180,000 pounds down the road. That's a much different story. And the other thing is that laziness, like, I'm going to ask Narsa straight up, did you think that he was going to get hit by lightning when he got his CDO and not be lazy one day? So I don't know. 80,000 is a big load to haul, and you don't know what they're going to put on the truck for you. So this is the reason I just didn't back up this thing, because I just didn't think when push came to shove and there was work to be done and you had to be showing up at a loading dock at 5 a.m. in the morning to pick up a load of bar steel from a steel fabricating mill, or to drop off some steel at a steel fabricating mill. I didn't think he'd have the wherewithal to set an alarm and get up and put the coat on and be there and be ready to do that. And, honestly, I took some heat for that position back in July and August. Yeah, people did. There were a lot of people very, very supportive, very supportive. I mean, of trying to do that. But, we'll cover off the financial thing too. I don't want anybody to get the idea that anybody should get a pass on financial obligations. I'm not trying to minimize that, but for the company, this is company risk. When you hire somebody, normally this day and age, what's the first thing they're going to do when they hire somebody? They're going to do a credit check. They're going to pull a credit check on you, and they're going to check out that and your employment history. So I don't think that came up with a FICO score of 810. You know what I'm saying? So this is probably a little bit of why Narsa was smarting here, because I think he did some arm twisting to get Marshall even to be accepted into the training program there. Let's see. It was his nephew, 6,000. He does. That's the thing. I mean, that's a different story. The trucking company, in my opinion, has the wherewithal and the means to legally pursue to whatever recourse event they have to be able to collect their money. If not, they made a bad judgment on somebody to collect the debt that's owed. Somebody shouldn't have been trained and went through the program. And they're probably going to have to end up eating that. But the family money is something that rubs me in a different direction. And I've already expressed that to Marshall, that family is a different story. And, just to try to paint the picture to him of the capital that his nephew put on the line for him, the personal capital that he burned through to get him down there and to get through that. Yeah, employers look at social media during background checks now. I was also behind Marshall when he got his CDLs, but it was too overwhelming. Rosie, last year we lost a trucker from the south of Christmas Eve, came down one of our hills, glare ice with hollow steel pipe through a gas station into the river. Our town was so sad for this family. I mean, I hate to say this. I could almost guarantee that Marshall would have crashed a rig. I would 100% listen to what Boris said. And Boris said, one day you're gonna lose a load, and not the way you might think you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose a load. You're gonna come over the top of a hill. There's gonna be a situation. Your mind's gonna get mind fucked. You're gonna confuse the brake with somebody's gonna die. And I think mentally you have to have the composure and the confidence you have to have a reactive brain and be engaged. All trucking companies, if he comes on, he's welcome to a link, but I'm not here to boost Marshall up and boost. I'm here to talk to Narsa and to hear some of the story from him. It's not often we get a chance to talk because he's working. Good night, Becca. Safe travels there. Yeah, you like to sleep and eat. But in our society today, I mean, I see around my own city here with 2,100 homeless people, of which about a good 60%, I would judge, are fully capable and able-bodied. But they don't want to work. They don't want to punch a clock. They want to live that bohemian life of being out in the elements. And I mean, it's not something that I can it's not something I can get my mind around. But you can't berate other people for what somebody else is doing. Look, I'm sure he's watching right now. If he wants to come on, he can ask for a link. yeah, just does not want to work. You know, he wants to work YouTube as a job. So, you know, I would suggest you work out a payment plan with Narsa. The noble thing to do would be to pay that back. Yeah, that was a big shirt. At least he didn't get the orange one there. So, hey, Mike James. Ugh. Yeah, honestly, to be thankful he doesn't do that. Doesn't drink and doesn't do not to me enjoy working, but we're student enough to know it's better than the alternative. That's what I mean. I mean, I've tried to get him to project 20 years down the road when you don't have a retirement plan and you don't, you know, he has worked enough to get a Social Security check. If you work 40 quarters, 10 years for that. But beyond that, with medical care and you can say, well, I'll just be on Medicaid or ward of the state, but it's not always that easy. With like tough times are coming up now, and there's going to be a lot of budget crunching. Our public utility is going to declare bankruptcy on the 29th of January. I mean, there's a lot of bad shit happening in the world right now. There he is right now. Yeah, I always said go to Walmart, work as a security guard for Walmart. You can park your rig on the parking lot. You can get the food that they don't want when they get out from the deli at night. You get the food, you collect the donuts, you live well. You get your chickens at the end of the night and go eat, go boondock in your van. You're homeless, but you're houseless, but not homeless. I mean, it's like the ultimate great life. And then you can do your shtick and all that. Yeah, time can't be replaced. That's exactly correct, Nomadic Tater Tot. I know that, but I don't see any hope of that happening, honestly. You can't survive in California on Social Security. You and I both. Okay, that's a different. Okay, fake Elvis. Yeah. So. Oh. Narsa had to run some paperwork into the office. I think he's getting his pickup scheduled for tomorrow. Yeah, the van's going to need some work. I'm out of here right now. You did give me a good tip. I'm hoping, I'm feeling okay, Sharon B. Probably spent a little too much time on my feet in the shop today doing some shop work out there, but I had a job that came in that I had to take care of out there. So, oh, he's watching here. Living day to day is a strategy for looters, but I can't tell you. I mean, look around your own communities and stuff. Will you support him financially when it breaks down? No, I will not. I will support with labor, but I would never support with, I can't support with money. If you buy the van from Ellis, you will never get that cent out of it. The van is destroyed. It kind of go, well, the whole van would be stripped out. Catch the mouse under the stereo console. Yeah, Sambo. No, I can't. I got to buy my own rig. I'm not flush with I've got to buy my own rig. It's retirement. I'm living on retirement. So I need to buy a van. Thank you, Cindy. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. But I'll just tell you at the beginning, he's going to have somebody that he can talk to. And that's it. I'm not walking away, and I'm not going to shut that door, and I don't care who tells me otherwise. A dirty doggy. I think, yeah, David Smith. Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at vans now. I'm looking at camper vans because I want to get on the road. Well, hey, let's pursue this professional counseling thing. Chris Diamond's van is great. You're right, Ghetto. Yep. Yeah, he helped. I got some good tips. Look, I rebuild vans. I could in 4 weeks I could have Elvis's van looking like it came off of the showroom floor in Elkhart, Indiana, at the Coachman factory there. Chris Diamond is an achiever. I got to tell you though, I was sad when I saw the blowback for Chris Diamond at his show. Not that people would ever insult Chris Diamond, but just that. You know, I mean, I thought the guy gave a pretty good show, you know, and I thought sometimes criticism goes a bit too far. Chris Diamond is a guy that took care of his mom for a couple years when she was gravely ill, and did a great duty, you know, and I have a lot of admiration for Chris Travels, and reduced his work schedule to be with his mom, and gave her quality time. And that means a lot when I see somebody like that. And the fact that he performs at nursing homes and retirement homes, I'm glad somebody's in there giving some people a little chance to do the two-step and jump a little bit. People don't like that Chris is enabling Elvis. We have to understand also that people just enjoy Elvis. Chris Diamond's not tuned into the daily shtick. He's not sitting here watching the show. If you think Chris Diamond would enjoy hearing some of the rants that Elvis does, he would recoil in horror about that. Oh, I know that. Hey, the negative. I know. So I don't say anything. Hey. But I'm just putting it out now that Joe King is not Joe King, but Chris Diamond's a pretty nice guy. He's really a nice guy. He does that yearly. Yeah, Narsa's here, Vinny G. He just had to step away to the office to do a little paperwork. Elbow sending trolls to Chris's channel, and they will come. Well, see, I hope he's prepared for that then, Chris Diamond. You know, no, Keith Thompson, no, you're not supposed to like Elbow, but I'm just saying, I'm just declaring where I stand, and I'm having Narsa to talk to him and get some feedback. I've already said, to me, the trucking company bears the risk of hiring, and they have the recourse to be able to get under law what they need to get. And if there's nothing to get, then the trucking company sadly has gambled and lost on a hire. And I'm quite sure something like 10 to 15, maybe 20% of the people blow out of that training. And probably of those people, a lot of them just walk. So I don't think it's something new. They probably make you sign a contract that says that we can immediately seize your assets, you know, which is you better read the fine print. You better be parking the Lisa Marie in a different location every night. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that family money and investment is something else, though. Family money. Of course, Vinny G. I always put word in Chris down, then I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not leading Keith Thompson. I'm just telling myself in the middle, but mainly I don't talk to Narsa that much. And when I saw him popped up on chat tonight, we get caught up. You know, Jen and I have spent time with him. We talked to him on the phone. We care about him. He gave us advice when we were on our cross-country trip. I've met his sister. I've hung out with his sister. I never even knew they had a size 6X, Vinny, to tell you the truth. But I'm just very grateful. Yeah, that's great. No, RV Radio, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very grateful, though, he did not get that orange. Because if you wear that orange African shirt on the streets of Chicago, you might, you know, get your ass handed to you or something. So 6X. I thought double X was as big as they went. So no, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not going to tell anybody the way that they should feel about anybody. we're running open chat, so I'll there we go. I'll allow that to go ahead. So that is that's a loser down in Houston, Texas, down there that doesn't have the courage to come on under his own name, who himself enabled a couple losers that are still around the community today, still plaguing the community. But I take ownership of my friends, but not him. So let me see, this thing's messing up again. All right, so if you're just joining us, we're just waiting for Narsa. Yeah, I think he could probably, could sleep under that. I don't know. Just trying to get this. My friends are all here. You can bet my friends are watching on the side chat. They don't necessarily, why would they come? They don't have any interest in the Elvis situation. Unlike you. Let's see. I'm doing good, Bumblebee. Thank you. Hey, Julie. Hey, Julie. Let's see. Hey, Ava Taylor. How are you? I don't know. It looks like women are giving most of his money. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Vinny. That was a vintage tuner. Hey, how you doing against the wind, Julie J? Hey, looks like my friends are here. Okay, Gary. Well, Narsa was already on here, so he's already been on. He'll be back. I know I'm a little better than you do, Gary. Let's see, 2:20 on a Monday. That's funny, Mallory. Well, we're just waiting for Narsa to get back. I don't understand, Vinny. You know, they ship me. This happens all the time. People don't pack shit stuff. They'll cut the power cord to something before they send it to me because they think it's safer shipping if it doesn't have the power cord with it. Like, they think somehow electricity is going to magically get into the box and start the unit up or something. And I mean, I'm like, and they just cut the cord and they throw it into the box. Hey, Holly, how are you? Thank you, Linz. Thank you very much, Lindsay. Yeah, it's been a while. I had to do a quick restoration for a family. Here's Narsa back. Welcome back, bro.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, good to see you inside. You staying warm tonight?
Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty cold outside. It's in the late teens, but I'll survive.
Now, Narsa, we always talk turkey with each other. We don't bullshit about things. I'm going to answer you a tough question. Okay, you're not a snowflake, and I know you ask me tough questions and stuff. And but let me ask you this: we were talking about you know, Marshall being lazy and stuff. Did you think he might turn a leaf when he got into trucking, or did his basic nature might change? And like,
yeah, I was hoping his nature would change and he would get into the rhythm of it, because driving, even though your job varies load to load, the idea and the rhythm of it is the same. You pick up a trailer, you get it washed out, you pick up the load, you deliver the load, you either drop and hook or you swap trailers. It's the same rhythm, it's the same steps over and over and over again. Nothing changes. And I was hoping that maybe it would instill some work ethic in him. Maybe he would get used to that, used to being on the go, like how I've become used to being on the go. But he didn't stay in it long enough for it to change him. So
yeah, it's like don't sometimes you have to pick up a load like you got to be picking up a load of steel at 5 a.m. or dropping something off early, or I mean, you must have some kooky hours, or is everything?
Yeah, the hours as a driver can vary. Like right now, it's 11:42 p.m. here. and I'm having to get the truck work done. Like, technically, I'm at work, but I'm not getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here. You know, it's this job. This trucking thing is not a job. It's not a career. It's just a lifestyle. You know, you work a lot of hours and you don't get paid for it. But this is not an hourly job. It's paid on the amount of how much you drive. But being hung up like this, like how I'm hung up right now, getting the truck worked on, this is just part of the loss that you eat. But this is a lifestyle. So,
hey, Greg. Now I've said this, Narsa, to me, and I've made it quite clear on the chat tonight. To me, the trucking company takes a risk on people when they hire. Okay, so the money that the trucking company may be entitled to for the training, they have provisions. I'm sure that you sign a contract when you come on. If you default, then this XYZ is going to happen. But what I'm not down with is the money that's owed you. And I think that I absolutely think that family members should pay back. I've just given my experience that every dime I've ever lent to anybody on YouTube, not one dime has ever been returned to me on loans. But I don't use that as experience for that. But your family with him, and I do hope that you can get your money back. Now, he claims you made money those first 4 weeks he's on the road, because I guess you get enhanced training monies or enhanced money trainings or something like that on the road. Is that true?
yes, the company pays me an additional, it's like $300 a week they pay me while he's driving. And see, the thing is, in the first phase of his training, which is what I did, he drives and I get paid for all of his miles. It's like I'm the one driving, getting paid for the miles, not him. So even though he's driving, plus they give me an additional $300 a week on top of that. Okay. Now, you can say that technically, yeah, I made money on him, but there's...
I'm sorry, man. I just...
The thing is, what people are having a hard time comprehending is that he's not paying for training. You know, he was getting paid himself $200 a week loan that he was supposed to pay back to the company for his food and stuff while he's in training. And I kept trying to explain to him, I said, you're working for your training. You're not paying for it, but you're going to work for your training. This is experience that is not something that can be taught in a classroom. This is something that you have to be hands-on with it in order to learn this job. Like, you can't teach someone to drive a truck on a chalkboard. It's not going to work. You know? So, yeah, I got paid, but you have to understand the way he eats is not like a human being that eats a $6, $7 sandwich in Subway. This guy wants to stop in every casino and spend $20, $30 and do it 2 times a day, 3 times a day. Even if it's 2 times a day, that's $60 a day. The company is giving him $200 a week for food.
Well, having sat at the buffet a few times with your
how he is.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, let me backtrack to what I was asking before. So you had no doubt, you know, Boris, of course, and of course Boris has a mouthpiece on him too, but he did long haul trucking for a while. But he said there's moments you come across like the top of a pass and maybe there's black ice or something that you don't know is going to be down there, and you're at that oh shit moment of your trucking career, and that's what you really find out what you're made of at that time. And that's the thing I worried that might panic Marshall, is that that feeling of you know, all of a sudden your skin's crawling, you're breaking out in a cold sweat. And it's like I wondered if he could handle that type of situation.
Well, the agreement was, the reason why I brought him in here like this was before winter started. That way he can start off his career with winter driving experience. If he can handle the winter, he can handle the other seasons. He could run the 3 other seasons, make his money, and then before winter comes again, he can leave. That would have been his first and his last winter.
Right.
Then you could have just done what I did, where you work spring, summer, fall, you quit in the winter, come back in the spring. But he blew it.
Yeah, Bergs, I'm not having you on. There's no point in having, you're not a, there's nothing that you can really add to the conversation. I mean, you don't really know Narsa or Elvis or the family or anything about trucking. I don't know anything about trucking. Yeah, how did Marshall get 2,000 bank account if he owes Marshall 6,000? I don't know. I guess the company puts the money in your account first. I'm not sure how that works.
Well, after I handed him off to his trainer, after I got him his CDL and I did what I was supposed to do, the second part of training was to teach him how to actually be a trucker, not just like somebody who holds a steering wheel. Like somebody, he has to know how to back for real now. He has to learn how to do paperwork and deal with the customers and how to, where to park and how to get the truck cleaned and stuff like this. And they pay him a certain amount. I'm not going to disclose this amount because the trolls will find out what companies pay what, and they'll find out where he was working at. So they pay a certain amount every week, and he ended up saving about $2,000 in his account.
Okay, so that's where that came from. Oh, thank you, Deb, the RN. I appreciate that. Bergs, look, you already told me you don't care to come on panels anymore. I'm just going to put this out there. So it's either one or the other. You're either in the pod or not, Bergs. We can't, the needle can't be sharp at both ends. You made it, hey, Troll Media, you made it quite clear to me the other day that you didn't want to be on panels anymore. So, again, you confuse me with where you're coming from this. Narsa, does it matter where he worked? He's not there anymore. Mike Loyal, and Mike Loyal's a trucker, by the way. I think he's a. Are you long haul, Mike Loyal? I'm not sure. Yeah, well, Bergs, you told me before you did not want to come on, and I'm going to lose my shit tonight on you, okay? Because I'm not going to play this. You made it quite clear on the phone the other day that you don't want to come on panels anymore. Pardon me, Narsa. Hey, Kim. But I get oh yeah. Vinny G, of course, Vinny's a heavy equipment operator. I think he has a CDL equivalent down in Australia. He also said it's a question of stamina too, Narsa. The thing I observed with your uncle doing trucking was that I didn't know, he'd say, man, I'm doing 400 or 500 miles a day, and it's killing me on here. Do you think he had the stamina?
Yeah, he was fine. He would go through an entire shift without being tired or sleepy. Very rarely did he get cranky behind the wheel. He was fine. There was nothing wrong with him.
Okay.
He slept fine. Now, of course, that all changes when you go into team mode, where one person drives and one person sleeps, because it becomes just nearly impossible to sleep in a moving truck.
Okay.
How people do it, I don't know. But
Mike Moore said, Rosie, can you ask Narsa what was the final straw with Elvis leaving?
I don't even know the answer to that question. He called me and said, I'm leaving. And I said, why? He said, I've had enough of this. I'm not sleeping. I'm tired. I'm getting off the truck. And I'm like, where are you headed to? Well, we're headed to Florida, but it's my birthday, and I'm going to make history. I'm like, well, what do you mean you're going to make history? I'm getting off this truck, bro. And after this truck, I'm not dealing with this. And I'm like, well, if you're already headed to Florida and you're going to get off the truck, why would you want to get off the truck where you're at now? That's just going to cost you money to go home. No, it's not, bro. The people of YouTube are going to take care of it. Okay.
Well, shockingly, they did. And that's what kind of blew me away. I got the phone call from Elvis that I'm up here outside of Richmond, Virginia, and I need to get back to any ideas on how to get back to Florida. And, I started looking at the Greyhound bus schedule, and he flipped out. I'm like, well, that's the cheapest way, man, to get down to Florida. I think you can get down there for about like $148 or something like that. But that didn't really pan out. But some guy in Florida, I think, that helped him out down there. I mean, there's, I think what people don't realize, and I'm just going to put it out here right now, there's people that do back, and it's not me. I mean, I might be in there holding a wrench in a chat, but I'm not timing people out. I'm not banning people. I'm there just like the flea market today, watching the flea market video, but I'm not putting money in the, but there are people, Narsa, that do legit put coin in there, and I see it on a daily basis. And, who am I to tell these people what to do, So I'm not sure if Mr. X helped him out or not, but I'm just saying, Narsa, it's YouTube, right?
Yeah. Oh, well.
What can I say about that? Let's go back for a second. Let's tell one funny story, Narsa. You remember back in you had the Ford Ranger. I'm not gonna go look at him fucking laughing. He's laughing already. He knows what the fuck's coming.
Are you thinking about the time when we had the towel on the window?
We still go back and look. No, I was telling that time when you were delivering that pizza, and that couple was all fucked up and high, and they were like, "You delivered the pizza." They didn't want to pay you. They flipped you off or said you're not getting a tip or something, and you ended up. What'd you do? Call the cops on them? Next thing you saw.
Oh yeah. They were really high and everything, and they're talking shit, and I was just like, I had the cops called in and had them sitting on the curb crying and stuff. And that's what they did.
Next time you saw him, it's like, hey, the point of that is don't fuck with the pizza guy who's bringing your pizza. They're sitting on the counter. They're sitting on the sidewalk in tears, sitting on the curb. There. Thank you, Scratch Card. Have a good night. When people want to talk about whether somebody's gay or not, or somebody's trans or not, this is something that I don't ever I mean, I'm out there in my own history, but I'm just saying I never feel it's my right to intrude into that space myself. So I don't go in there, but other people feel differently about that. So I don't know. It's up to Narsa. Is it true your uncle is gay? I'm hearing this. I'm not. It's not my business. So I'm not gonna.
Well, people assume he's gay because he has gay friends and stuff like that, and I don't think that's right. I mean, that's like, and I've had my family question my sexuality because I talk to people that are trans and gay and bi and all the the whole bit. And just because I talk to someone who is who's got a different sexuality other than myself, it doesn't make me what their sexuality is. That's like if someone is gay and their family says, "Oh, you talk to Narsa. Are you straight now? Are you like him? Are you straight?" Let's reverse it for a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine that's under tremendous pressure right now that I think is feeling the effects of feeling the effects of blowback from being gay on YouTube, and it can be horrible, And I'm just saying that it doesn't make him less of a decent guy in my mind, no matter what he is. Yeah. How you doing, Yujiro? Nice to see you. Carlos Martinez. Bergs, it says, Rosie, you hog up the boy. Bergs, I don't know what you want, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm talking to Narsa here. You have no connection to, I've known Narsa for 4 freaking years. Okay, almost 5 years. I met Narsa before I ever met Marshall, okay? And that's bottom line. So pack your stuff and move on, Bergs. This ain't about you. Go open your own guitar hangout and do your own talk.
Later on, when this hangout gets wrapped up, am I going to be able to read the comments as the video plays?
Absolutely, yeah. You'll be able to go and watch the comment. I keep my videos up so people can see the comments, and the side chat always rolls with with my videos. Narsa, but I gave you I really gave you a lot of credit once you got him into that. I came down two ways on you, honestly. The first time, I wasn't really backing with your uncle going in to trucking because I kind of feared he didn't have the wherewithal to kind of do it. I know you had a lot of hope for him, and but then when you got into it, I really gave you a lot of credit for getting him trained up. But then the message came down that you know, you had walked away from him on training, and then I was a little upset at that point, you know, because I knew at that point in time there was no way that he was going to make it with anybody else except you on the training, and that's kind of the way that it panned out. But I don't think it's your responsibility, the success or failure.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people have said what you said, that, you know, they feel like he would have made it if he would have been with me. The thing is, if he would have been with me, which I will admit I lied to him. I did say that I was going to train him and team with him for a whole year. I did have to feed him that lie to get him in, because he wouldn't. I had to tell him everything he wanted to hear to get him in. That I'll admit to it. But him being with me, that wouldn't benefit him, because he wouldn't take the job as seriously with me as if he would with somebody else, number one. Number two, that would be cheating, because he's going to expect me to just baby him all the time and hold his hand and do every little thing for him, which is not going to help him learn how to do this job, which is another reason why I walked away. And thirdly, knowing that we're going into wintertime, if we were to both, I made this decision on behalf of the entire family. Making him a truck driver, and I'm already a truck driver, okay? We pull in a good amount of money as far as for the family income. If something were to happen and we both die in the truck, the family, being his sisters, my mom, stuff like this, my aunts, they would have lost not one but two people that bring income into the family. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I figured I'm going to take off for winter, okay, which I'm going to be in the safe zone. He's going to have to risk winter. I have to risk winter. That's what we all have to do in your first year of driving. You got to eat crap. This is how it is, you know? Yeah. So this is what it is. And another thing, I came into this completely in the unknown. I didn't know anybody at this company. I didn't know where to go, what to do, who to talk to. I had to. It was a drag for me, and me bringing him in, he did not have to go through any of the loopholes that I had to go through. Basically, I was like his representative, like a lawyer for him.
Well, you were like his expediter, I think. You know, when he came in, you were expediting his way through. But your point number one is the best one to me, and one I never thought about. And it's like the Marine Corps. Would you want a Marine trained by a relative that's a drill sergeant, and maybe, you know, he's going to give you a little extra slack? You'd be like, fuck no. I want you to be a Marine in the truest sense. I want you to have the hardest ass training you can get. You're hooked up with a good trainer. Do it. I like your idea that he might, you know, you can't baby people. I don't want somebody that was babied having on the road. I want somebody to learn like you did, the tough first 30,000.
He already got it baby enough that and he got lucky that the company finally allows to train and complete your CDL in an automatic truck and have the restriction. When I trained and when I went through this, there was that option did not exist. You had to test out in a manual. You had to learn how to shift. Wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
So the fact that was out of the way, that was a blessing in itself. So
I guess that's just because automatics are just starting to take over the road now.
The industry, yeah.
Yeah, that's the things. But I like that. You know, I never thought about that point of you wouldn't want a truck driver that's babied. You'd want a truck driver that you know, had all.
He spoke about wanting to buy a truck and go team, or at least like me and him would put our money together, buy a truck, and I would drive a certain amount out of the month, and he would drive a certain amount out of the month. Like, say if I drove 4 weeks, he would have 4 weeks off, and then he would drive 4 weeks, I would have 4 weeks off, and whatever we made as far as profit goes for that month, we just split the profit every week. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I
That
think
was
that's
the whole game
brilliant.
plan, so that we can have time off and still have money coming in. And I figured if I baby him and train him, then he won't be able to let go of me. He won't be comfortable in the truck by himself. I
Yeah.
figured let him go on with somebody else, introduce a new face that's not family, that's gonna be hard on his ass, that's not gonna take nothing from him, you know.
Yeah, I
And then
just
that way, in a year from now, when I come back, I know he's independent for real.
yeah,
You know.
I kind of wished it was me that was being trained up because I would have saw the son of a bitch right through to the end, and got the goddamn license and the time and and done all that stuff. I was kind of wishing it was me that was training up with you because I would have been yes sir, no sir, yes sir, and yes, we'll eat Subway, no problem. We'll skip lunch today. That's cool, a happy face on and going down the damn road. I mean, I could get into that life, but a lot of people are giving you credit. A lot
So
of
why
people,
don't you do it?
they're giving you credit for your bold attempt to at least push the boulder forward, and get a little momentum on it. So that's pretty cool. What you did. So does anybody have it? Oh, they're asking you, why did Narsa delete your earlier live stream from tonight? I think you delete
What did
all
I delete? What?
your live stream from earlier.
Oh, well, the battery was dying, and I got tired. And I wasn't like going to sleep. I just like wanted to relax, rest my mind for a little bit because I was shouting on camera for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and I knew I had to bring the truck in here and deal with these people. But
Well,
have you?
also,
Let me ask you a question. Have you retired yet, or are you still coming up
yeah,
on retirement?
yeah. I'm looking around for a Class B now, Narsa. Your uncle
Why
gave.
don't you? Why don't you come work for this company that I'm at?
I think I would. I mean, if you were serious, I'd be
Let me
down.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. And our company, which I'm not going to disclose the name of it, we do have a large LGBTQ community here. They have their own Facebook page, and we do have trans men and women that work in this company. That they are highly respected individuals in this company. That this place is it's a safe haven, it's a safe place. There is no judgment within this company
I
because
think
there are
that's
very
really
strict
cool.
rules about that.
I think that's really cool because I got perfect health. I got no blood pressure, no cholesterol, no medical issues. I'd be good for a 2-year qualification on a CDL. Man, that's really tempting. I'll tell you what, Narsa, because like I said, I'd be like, yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, Subway's great. Yeah, chicken, I'll get you one. Hey, sit tight, I'll get your coffee.
I mean, I understand that you have things to take care of at the house. You have to help with Jen and everything. But because this is a very time demanding job, like you will be gone in the beginning phase of your career, like weeks at a time. You
Oh,
know.
I know, but I've got her kind of, once she's done her surgery, I've kind of got things set up here on the Rancho because I was going to be traveling a lot anyway. Anyway, I'll call you separately on that. I'll talk to you about that. I'd love
Okay.
to try. I'd like to just try. I'd like to show Elvis, what the old broad could do, what the old Aunt Rosie could do behind the wheel of a semi. It might freak Boris out, but it might, show Elvis what the hell you could do. But anybody have any other questions for? Oh, you actually, I could have answered that. You delete all your streams. You don't keep any of your content up on your channel. So
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. I mean, people are still recording them anyway, probably. I know that's what everybody does. They record them, they have like a way to record it. But I just delete them because I used to make videos and I was just catching a lot of slack for it. And I didn't want to hear it no more from anybody. So whatever videos I had, I just privatized them. And I just keep my channel blank now, no videos.
yeah,
So
that's what I thought you did. So. Elvis, you're getting timed out. I know you indicated you didn't want to come on tonight, so that's fine. I don't beg people to come on the panel. Rosie asked Narsa if the tooth pain was a scam. I don't know if he even knows about tooth pain or whatever. I don't know. your uncle's had some teeth problems. So
Yeah, he's been griping about that since before time. And I told him, I said, that's another benefit. You come here, they're gonna get health insurance, you're gonna get dental, like just work. As soon as they get some time off, go get your teeth, worked on. The company's lenient. If you have health issues, they want a healthy driver behind the wheel. They'll give you extra time off. You can go out, drive for a week, take 2-3 days off, get whatever you need done. The following week, they'll bring you back home, get the rest of it done. They're not going to make you drive for a month. If you get surgery and you need stitches removed, they're not going to make you drive with a month with stitches. Like, that's not going to happen. You can take some time off. You have up to 30 days to take off. So if he had like major dental surgery, he can take off, get whatever surgery he needed done, and then they would just reinstate him. He'd end up having to get a new truck and all this stuff, but they would just end up reinstating him, which is what happened to me. I was gone for a little over 30 days, so I had to go through orientation again, drug test and background check and all this employment verification. But if I would have come about 14 days earlier, they would have just brought me back, drug tested me, given me to the keys to the truck, and said, go. So
yeah. Now there was a time, what was that, about 15 months after you'd been over the road, Narsa, where you were actually thinking about doing a business or something. You'd actually turned a little bit negative on, at least what I heard was, you'd actually turned a little bit negative on trucking. Did you think about starting a small business or something? Or
yeah, I've been wanting to open like a donut shop, like a donut shop, basically. The thing is with trucking, it's a love-hate relationship for me because, yes, it's an interesting lifestyle. Yes, you make good money sometimes, not all the time, but it's a lifestyle that it eats away your life. Like, I don't remember from the ages of 21 to 23, I don't remember anything but the few times that I was at home and I got to hang out with friends. You really don't have a life. Yeah, you get to travel, but the United States, like I said, is not as big as what people think it is. I've already seen all the roadside attractions. I've already been on all the major U.S. highways more times than I care to count for. And it's done. That's it. At this point, it's just repetitive money making. There's nothing new about it. There's nothing exciting about it no more. It's just, at this point, it's just repetition.
Yeah, I would think after a while the USA shrinks a lot. Every major, all the highways, the cities, the inners and the outers of the cities, and what the skylines look like and all that shit.
Yeah.
Probably start to know where the bad potholes are outside of Indianapolis on I-70 and all that kind of
Yeah.
It gets tough. I wanted to ask you, and some people were asking me if you could repeat what made you think Elvis, your uncle, might have what it takes to be an over-the-road trucker?
Simply just because he partially lives the lifestyle now and doesn't realize it. He lives in a small space. You have to pack everything tightly, move things to get to other things in your small space. He's comfortable with using the bathroom in a not bathroom setting,
Yeah.
Which you might have to do out here on the road if there's no bathrooms around and it's just you in the field, He's more like that's his preference, which is a good thing.
You in the Indiana cornfield, Narsa,
Basically.
He's
got good people still.
Yeah, I still keep in touch with Janet a little bit, and so I do appreciate that. And people do feel frustrated. But I guess the question is, I often find myself in the firing line because I don't sign everything that Elvis does, but I don't walk away from, his friendship and stuff, because I always entertain this hope that, something's got to break for the future to have a brighter future and stuff. So I know your family feels frustrated about a lot of things. Joe King, repeat that question. Carlos, why are you FUing me? It's not me. I'm not touching the keyboard. Okay. I guess Greg Campbell is Oda May. So I tell people just take it easy in the side chat, and yeah. So and I stand up for that, and I just believe everybody needs somebody to be able to talk to in life and talk turkey with and have serious conversations. Joe King, Rosie, ask him about the unemployment scam if it's true.
What unemployment scam?
I guess maybe.
Yeah, he wants to, and he has every right to technically file for unemployment, because you can still technically draw unemployment even if you quit. There's like a way, if you can prove that your employer was unfair in your treatment or something and you voluntarily quit, there's still a way to like file for unemployment and they give it to you. But he's not going to win because there's nothing unfair about how he was treated. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Look it up.
Don't you have to have a certain amount of hours? Yeah, don't time Elvis out, please. Just let him.
I think it's like 3 months or something like that. But the laws in the trucking industry is a little bit different. Because it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's like kind of working 24/7. So it's a little bit different. I don't know what the exemptions are because I've never had to file for unemployment. So
yeah, I think you need to. I think that you need to work a certain. I think you need to work a certain number of months before time on the job before you're eligible. I mean, Oda Mae Brown was telling me in Missouri that you have to have that. I imagine other states are the same way too.
I'm not against drawing unemployment if it helps, to keep the bills paid for a little bit while you're looking for a job. That's fine. But to purposely set yourself and your employer up to a point where you're going to collect it, like making a phony case out of it, and you ride it as long as possible, that to me is like, it's pitiful. Because it's people like that they ruin the budget for unemployment. It's like, I don't know, it's just wrong. The way I feel about it is wrong. Some people may say, hey, there's nothing wrong with getting free money. I mean, after all, you've made them a lot of money working for them, blah, blah, blah. But to me, in my feelings, I think it's wrong. I think if you're a perfectly capable human being, there's genuinely nothing wrong with you, then there should be no reason for you to just, drain the system. So
yeah, let's not.
I think people should contribute.
Yeah, don't time out. Let Marshall just go on the side chat. It doesn't bother. Bother me. Let me see. Hello, Six. Nice to see you, Rick. Yeah, there's a few people in here tonight. Nice to see you on the chat. They're saying you're back. They're saying you're back walking the earlier. Jack Sparrow saying you're backtracking on your earlier hangout. Jack Sparrow, I don't have rough, yelling and ranting hangouts. It's not my style to do that. I just try to talk calmly and rationally to people. Marshall, you're not timed out, so don't go ballistic. I'm trying to. There's very few people that are standing up here and trying to to make sense of the shit that you do. So be a little appreciative of that, okay?
What he needs to do is become a productive member of society.
Jack Sparrow, I apologize. And I'm just saying, I'm just trying to keep my tenor calm here, but on the earlier, Narsa's got a little bit of theater in him too. I mean, he's he's Middle Eastern, right? I mean, he's.
Well, the thing is, when I speak, I'm a very calm, passive, peaceful person. But in order to match the level of shock value that my uncle delivers, the only way you're gonna reach out to people is to holler and scream and shake your head and woo and all this baloney stuff. That's what draws people attention. So I'm gonna play the same game he plays. I'm gonna sit there and holler and scream and shake my head and how to find you and all this baloney stuff. I'm gonna shut him down in his own game.
actually, you blew me away when you were on there. I kind of closed my eyes and thought it was your uncle for a minute on the you must have absorbed a little bit over the years, but you didn't watch enough pro wrestling, Narsa. You didn't get enough into the WWE to really put this spin on it. I mean, that was you. Yeah, you had a little bit of theater on there too, but I know you're frustrated. You know, I know you're frustrated. I can imagine.
He needs to be a productive member of society. He needs to go volunteer, like clean the streets up, go plant some trees, go plant some flowers, go do something.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was going to say it's difficult with the company too. I mean, I was in a situation once when I worked at a manufacturing plant, Western Electric, which made equipment for the Bell telephone system back in the day, and recommended one of my friends wanted to get in there because it was a CWA, Communication Workers of America, man. They were paying $16 when my other friends in college were making like $6 an hour and stuff. They were paying $16 an hour. But you had to clock in at 4 a.m. in the morning. Your shift was 4 a.m. until noon, okay? And my friend had begged to get into the door, begged me. I had to go into the company. Oh man, this guy's great. You know, he's a varsity lacrosse player. He's a really cool guy. And the fucking guy goes in there on the third day. He takes a six-pack in on the job, and he almost loses his arm in a cable spinning machine, making ocean-going cable and shit because he's so fucked up on the line that he reaches over and gets his arm caught in a spinning machine. And the man, how do you think I felt with that, having recommended this jerk off to be on the floor? It's tough, you know, when you.
Yeah, they burn your name, they burn your credibility. Yeah, I ended up burning mine as a trainer because they looked at me like, come on. You know, he is the first driver in history to fail a road test in automatic in this company. Like this guy, he set an actual record in the company. Out of 7,000 people that have come through this program, he's the first one. So that's horrible that my student is the first one to fail. Like you can't get any worse as a trainer than that.
Well, it's good to know you're making history. I still go back to that phone call he made outside of Richmond. Bro, I'm going to make history today. You know, it's like, what the fuck, you know? Really, man? It's like, you're probably like, oh, shit, here we go again. You know, we've been down this road like 622 times. Now here comes 623 times. But I'm not trying to dog him out because, as I said in the beginning of the Hangout, I do be a friend to him, and I do talk to him and try to push him in a positive direction. And I said at the beginning of the Hangout, if it's going to make people mad, I understand that. Just unsub, and at least I'm honest about things and don't hide behind and troll stuff and all that. So that's it. Take care, Jack Sparrow. You're not getting, Marshall, you're not getting timed out. I offered you a link. Okay? Your nephew offered you a link for the...
Why won't he just come up and say what he's got to say? What is he sitting in the side chat for? It's not like he's shy.
I will give you a wrench just for the duration of the chat here, okay? So I don't have to hear any complaining on here. So Narsa, are you going to try to get to the point of your travels where you can take like 2 or 3? I mean, what's your story now? If you wanted to walk away, if you walk away for more than 30 months, 30 days, then you have to go through like a reorientation or something?
You have to go through a 1-week orientation where they issue you a new DOT medical card. You have to get drug tested. They have to do a background check. They have to re-verify your previous employers. You have to do a physical. You have to get safety certified where you drive a simulator to show that you're still like coherent. You know how to shift and stuff. Yeah, you have to take safety classes and stuff. A lot
Now,
of computer-based training modules. You have to do like these videos and answer these little quizzes and stuff. Which it
so
doesn't faze me because I train people for this. So, but they
yeah,
still, even me as a training with a training history, they still make me do it. So,
do you Narsa, let me ask you this. Do you plan on getting a Class B? Or are you happy with the van that you have now?
what van? I don't have a van.
I thought you had a van. You had one for a while, didn't you?
The minivan got stolen during Hurricane Irma. They found it and it got totaled out, and that was it for vans for me. It was a little minivan. It was was it a Chrysler Voyager or something like that? I didn't have it for too long. I know me and him made a video of it, and it's still on YouTube. But no, I wouldn't get a Class B. No, if I
Okay.
ever got an RV, it would be much bigger. Simply because I'd probably get like a Class A or something that's big. Because I always thought I wanted a Class B simply because of how maneuverable they are and small. But this whole doghouse situation, how your feet are just like together and you're having to sit awkward to avoid it's very annoying. So I know as
Yeah.
far as Fords go, they're out of the question for me. All these Ford vans, I've driven like 5, 6 of them test drives. Even cargo vans, they all have this problem. The dashboard comes out too much and it feels like everything is just in your lap and it's very annoying.
Yeah. Do
The
you think?
Chevrolets are a lot nicer.
Do you? Okay. Yeah. Because I don't know why I thought you were interested in RVs, but then thinking back, I realized no, you were more interested in trucking than you were never really into the RV thing. But I do remember.
Class B, the ideology of it being small and stuff is cool, but it's very fun and exciting. But it's a lifestyle that requires you to be like independently wealthy, or you have some sort of income coming in where you're not tied up with work. You got to be really a one of a kind person to do the Class B thing. You know, because it comes with a lot of problems. Like people, they think, oh, you live in an RV, they think you're crazy. People don't want to associate with you. A lot of people are gonna, they don't understand that your house is on wheels, their house is on a platform. A lot of people are closed minded. You know,
Yeah.
and
Well,
besides, I
yeah.
don't know
Well,
how to explain it to you. Like these vans are too sensitive. So
Narsa, I mean, Elvis, I don't block anybody in your chat, so I would appreciate the favor. And I catch a lot of flack in your chat too. So let's be real, okay? I don't wield the wrench, so don't ban people out. It's a defensive wrench in here. But no, the stuff around here, Narsa, that a lot of the people who live around here in RVs and stuff, they get a lot of problems of. People who live in the RVs after the big fires hit here in Santa Rosa, a lot of people moved in because of the tons of free services they were giving out, free food, free monthly stipends. Shit, there were people coming here from Sacramento and Reno and all these places driving in and claiming benefits, and now there's thousands of these junky RVs all over the roads and clogging up the city's streets here in Santa Rosa with.
the thing is with RVs, I feel like if someone is going to RV, they should do it the right way. Don't park in a street and stealth camp, and because that's illegal. There's a lot of ordinances that they're against this. Don't sit in a Walmart parking lot for months at a time and claim residence there. Do it the right way. If you're gonna be an RVer, be classy about it. Have some class. Go, pay the money. Go to an RV park. Plug in. Have neighbors. Go to a campsite. Don't camp at Walmart. Don't camp at Lowe's or Home Depot. This is stupid. This is just being high class homeless at that point. If you do that, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah,
no difference if I set up a cardboard box and sleep underneath it. You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I think about myself when I think about when I get my Class B. I don't think just when you say camp out, I don't think you probably don't begrudge the people that are just traveling day to day and stop at a Walmart in one town and then go 150, 200 miles for the day and then stop at another one. But I'm saying I think you're saying people that just boondock constantly at the same fucking Walmart in Florida or something like that.
Those people, like if you're just traveling, it's okay. You're passing through the RV park, obviously going to be closed at night and stuff like that. That's normal. But like people that like live in one area, like in one city, and they'd rather just be in an RV. Like, now I know some people don't have a choice. It's a more affordable thing to do because they don't have rent and all this stuff. But the amount of money that these vehicles burn in gas, it's equivalent to rent. They get like 4 miles to the gallon. My semi, it's better MPG. My semi, 80,000 pounds, is going to do 8.5 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
It's cheaper in diesel to drive my semi from Florida to Chicago than it is to drive Marshall's van. That's a problem.
Well, I thought this yeah, I know. Nomadic Tater Tot says, Rosie, you're in love with the idea of romantic ideas of stealth camping. That's very true. I always have an idea of kind of like I'm beating the man, but I wouldn't be sitting at the same parking lot night after night after night. I might be 2 or 3 days in one city and then move on. And I don't think Walmart has a problem with that kind of activity. But if you're going to try to sit there for a month and do all the, do that day after day after day, then I think it's problematic. I don't see any romantic in it, but
the thing is, getting over on the big government, getting over on big corporations. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm all for like sticking it to the man and all this stuff. But in reality, nobody's ever going to stick it to the man. There's a reason they're the man and you're not. So you're not really going to stick. You may poke them a little bit, but you're not sticking nobody. And then if you become the man, then everyone's going to try to stick you. So you're kind of fucked either way.
I mean, that's what I tell Elvis jokingly. I mean, I don't hurt anybody I don't reach out to hurt anybody on YouTube, but I always said in Elvis's kingdom, the peasants live better than the king, which is like the opposite of most kingdoms, where the king gets everything and the peasants have nothing. So it's kind of no, I'm not. I'm very proud of my nephew Narsa and what he's accomplished. And when he was there on his 21st birthday, right at that office, the stroke of midnight, man, he was ready to go. He was fired up. And what did I tell you at that time, Narsa? I know no 20-year-olds that are as driven as you are about their future as you were at that particular time. Carlos Martinez wants to know, Narsa, do you think the Bears will go to the Super Bowl next year?
I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I mean, they are a Chicago football team, but I'm not on this sports. I don't watch sports like I used to. So
yeah, so there it is. There's your answer. So, but yeah, I just asked your question. Hard work does get respect for sure. Not begging. So, do you still have an idea of opening a business or anything, Narsa, or are you going to stick to the trucking?
Well, I'm gonna work. Save a little bit of money, get off the truck, try my hand at a different business again, and see what happens. The thing is, I could go to a bank and get a loan and do all this stuff, but I don't think it's really necessary to be going and getting bank loans and all this stuff, because then you're just paying interest on your money. Like, you're paying to use money. Like, I don't believe in paying to use money. Like, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to make my own money and just use my own money to make it happen. And if it loses, then I eat it. It's fine. I'll just start all over again.
The RC Bully says, ask him why he's telling family business. I don't know. I mean, you can answer, but I'll tell you this, Bully. I mean, it's been 2 public lives on here since I've known them in 2014. So, between the 3 of us, it's pretty public lives. I mean, Narsa's been on since God knows when. I mean, I was hanging out with them when they were in the double wide down in Arkansas down there. And, I don't know, family business. I don't think Narsa already had a big hangout and talked stuff. Leanie says, Rosie, did Narsa teach Elvis to back up? This is one of the concerns that I heard Narsa was you didn't spend enough time with, you know, the angle backing, the straight backing, and the dock parking.
The thing is, let me clarify the backing for everybody. When you go to back on a road test for your CDL, we as trainers are trained to teach our students to back in a way where you don't even look at the back of the trailer. Okay, you don't even look at the back of the trailer. You're not looking where you're going. There are certain series of steps, like you start off at point A. You know, you cut your wheel all the way right. You back up until you see this reference point in your mirror. You stop. Cut your wheel left. Back up, back up, back up. You see this reference point in this mirror. Stop. Cut your wheel this way, that way, this way, that way. And before you know it, when you complete your final step, when you look out the door, you're in the spot. Okay, that takes no skill. That's just memorizing a series of reference points. Now, I tell all my students, as soon as you get your CDL, everything I taught you, throw it out the window. Because if you try to apply these reference points in real life, you're going to smash into somebody's truck. In real life, you have to look at the back of the trailer and aim it to where you want to go. The thing is, the space in which we're using is too small to teach someone how to aim for something.
Right. Right.
So
I always said, like the equivalent of you got to run a load of steel into Manhattan at 4 p.m. in the afternoon and back in off Fifth Avenue or something to a construction site or something. Like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, it's like,
that's pure skill. That's just pure skill and practice. There's nothing a trainer, that's not something, backing in real life, there's no trainer that can really teach you how to do it. You just got to try and try and try, and then it'll just click. Like the light will just bing, go on, and then you'll just get it. And then from there, you just practice more. You know?
Well, let me ask the flip side of the question. Let me flip the script a little bit here. What do you think about somebody that makes proclaims? Now, I'm lucky. I worked a lot of years, so I get, don't have to worry about asking for daily donations and things like that. But what do you think about somebody that claims a YouTube career? I mean, do you, within our society and within life, what advice? You've been around YouTube a hell of a lot of years, and
unless you've gone seriously viral and you have millions of views on your videos, at least well over a couple 100,000 view every video, and you have all these subscribers and you're cutting a real check, then that's fine. You know, if you're like PewDiePie or, you know, any other of these channels like Casey Neistat or whatever.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, like Casey Neistat, there's like I think I heard something that like 1% of the channels take like 80% of the money on YouTube or something like that.
Right. The thing is with those channels, they're not completely self-run. Like once you get so big on YouTube is going to put the brakes on you and they're going to stop you. They're going to be a set of people that will contact you and email you saying, hey, we are like a media group. We're an advertising company. We can get your channel out there more and we'll get you more viewers and more income. But we want to own like 80% of your channel, 90% of your channel, 70% of your channel. And now you're going to be in a binded contract where you now have to create content for this channel in which they own most of it, but they're getting you out there. Like I have a friend of mine. He's a YouTuber and he's a truck driver. His name is Trucker Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, he's really big. I met him at this company here. I was watching him a year before I became a truck driver. And then I talked to him and he came to my company. We made good friends. And he was explaining to me, and he was showing me the emails of how they basically put the brakes on him. And he chose not to sell his channel out.
I've seen him. He's a black guy, right?
Yeah, he's a black guy. Now, there's another driver that I'm not going to say his name, but he sold out his channel, and he blew up. And now he's taking the money from that, and he's investing in trucks, and he's got a fleet, and he's always hiring drivers. He asked me to drive for him, but I told him no. I'm comfortable where I'm at. But he sold out. But now he's in a contract to where he has to make content.
Oh,
Like he has to. And if he doesn't, there's legal ramifications. So now you're in it, you know?
yeah. See, that's a bind I would never want to. Then it becomes non-creative and it becomes a job, and people immediately see that it's kind of contrived nonsense, and it's I think that works against you, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're completely right, because his channel has changed. Now they just blab about whatever, you know?
Yeah.
They just go on and on and on about the same old subjects. They just twist the words around a little bit, and that's it, you know? So it is what it is. And you can't say certain things anymore. You can't act a certain way, you know? Like, they basically make you into a robot, into a model, like, of what they want you to be.
Yeah, and then then it's not authentic creativity, I believe. So
like, your videos vary from radio repair and restoration to the Shine Shack and all this stuff. Like, how would you like it if someone told you, hey, less radio videos, more Shine Shack videos?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. I would never give anybody,
no more hangouts.
Yeah, I'd never sign on to that type of deal because it's not that important. You know what I mean? But I just think, what I'm driving at is your uncle wants to use YouTube as a career, and granted, it's paying the bills. It may not be paying the moral.
He's got no bills to be paid. That's the problem.
Yeah,
he's got no bills. All he's got is a gas and insurance and a cell phone and what he eats.
Thank you, Kim. But what I meant is the obligation, if he owes you money, to make sure that the family money is repaid, and YouTube
is never gonna manage to pay that money back. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So this is the thing, and I just think this is why, to get a job on that, and to do the right thing on that. But I can't, at the end of the day, we can't force that. Somebody said, how does Elvis's family feel about his behavior and begging?
It's looked down upon. It's embarrassing. It's caused a lot of family problems. It's a shame.
Yeah. Well, there it is, dirty dog. So there's the answer. So, to me, it's a question of how you move forward, and if you've signed on to do the YouTubing thing, and if you think you can make a go of it, then Harry says the people who make YouTube a career are the ones who actually put out content, not beg for money on live chats every night, like Marshall. What? In my opinion, for whatever it's worth, hey, Wayback Tech, the YouTube has a way of taking care of its own success or failure, right? I mean, if you tell people, oh, I'm gonna blow up and I'm gonna get big, and you're talking about the numbers and stuff every night, then people are gonna know it's not an authentic experience. It's gonna kind of be a turnoff to them. You can get a little far with a negative channel, but I do think that you have to create content and add educational and experiential videos for people to enjoy. And I don't know, I guess, Narsa, you'd feel the same way too. Videos that take you someplace and show you someplace and do something. Although today, when he went to there's what the hell was the name of that flea market down in Florida down there? He went to some big ass flea market outside of Ocala down there. I don't know.
I don't watch his channel. I don't watch his videos. So only if it comes across my thing that it says live, I'll go in there and talk smack just to shut him down. And the thing is, I cut him off weeks ago. We had it out, but it's been picking at me how he uses religion to manipulate people and get what he wants, and that's where I feel like it's my personal duty. Because I don't talk religion or politics to anybody because it's a debatable topic, but I'm not going to let him use my faith in particular to extort money out of people. That's where I'm going to draw the line for him.
With religion, I guess,
He sits there and he takes advantage of people that are good-hearted, kind people, and they try to relate to him, and they're too naive to realize that he's just using that to dig into their pockets.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know?
I think when you put it, that's the difference of the YouTube experience that I try to tell him about. When you put out content and people enjoy content, as opposed to you know, browbeating people for money. But then on the other hand, I think to myself, well, this is America and it has a way of taking care of its own. You know what I mean, Narsa? It's like you can only do that for so often, and then the well kind of it starts to run dry, you know. And people, don't you think people like to see people progress forward in life and accomplish things and get, you know, move towards a better van and get a job? And like, I think on my channel, people would be blown away if suddenly I would get a you know, to go pursue a CDL, and all of a sudden I'm driving a semi, you know, down the road. Now that would be content, you know, that would be mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know, it would be a whole new spin. It wouldn't be sitting in, but in this country, we allow people to do, to make what I think are mistakes in life. And, you know, under that pursuit of happiness that I talked about, last year. Joe King says, do you think it was wise of Elvis to use his debit credit card at the flea market, give it to a Nigerian guy that ran from his camera? I would never use a credit card or debit card at a flea market. The only thing you want to have is cash in your hand there. You don't want to be, you know, a card swipe.
It doesn't matter. He has no credit. He has nothing anybody can steal for him. What are they going to steal? His YouTube donations? There's nothing to steal. What are they going to steal? The moo off of his back? The dashiki, whatever he was wearing?
Yeah,
what are they going to steal? His fake, cheap aviator sunglasses? What are they going to steal from him? The guy has nothing in his name. Nothing.
Yeah, so I just, to me, people always say, you know, Rosie, do this or don't do that. But life, I mean, I've kicked around longer than most people have on the side chat here. Okay. And I know that life puts you up on the anvil and throws you into the furnace once in a while and takes a hammer to your hot ass and beats you into, molds you into position. I've never seen anybody escape the realities of you know, of life and living, and although things may be looking like they're going well at any moment in time, you don't know what's over the horizon. So, you know, that's the bottom line. Somebody said, did Elvis have friends before he went rogue here? I don't know much about his life in Skokie and then in down in Arkansas. I just know he was big into WWE.
All of his friends are weird.
I raised my hand, you know.
No. I'm talking about like it's not like a sexual weirdness or nothing. Like they're just the kind of people that he talks to are like more than outcast. Like how are they? They're like not an outcast, but like.
Would you say they're on the
fringe to themselves?
Would you say they're on the fringes of society? Because he admired.
They're like on the very fucking edge of society. Like they're the kind, like his friends are the kind of people that were like that. His friends are the kind of people that would sit by themselves in high school at lunch or something. Like the one weird kid that just sits by himself or herself, and you know they're just like cuddled up to a book and don't want to talk to nobody, and they fucking walk down the hallways and make weird noises and shit. Like those are his kind of friends. You know? He doesn't have people that are charismatic, that are nice, that are popular. His friends are weird and they're extremely judgmental.
Thank you, Matt. And I'll be calling you after Jen gets her surgery done. Let's see. Jack Sparrow said, I've been on YouTube for 12 years. I've seen all the BS. Elvis needs a job. Nobody owes that lazy jackass anything. End of story. You know, Jack Sparrow, you're 100% correct. Nobody owes anybody anything. Nobody owes anybody views on YouTube. Nobody owes anybody money on YouTube. Nobody owes anything to anybody. But since this is America, then you'll have people that go forward and exercise what they believe their right is, to be able to almost like a preacher come out and ask people for donations and support.
Yeah, but at least a preacher or a church are going to give you a tax receipt so you can go file for taxes. This guy collects taxes. Where's my tax refund? All these people that paid their taxes, where's our W-2 at? We want to go get filed for tax refund.
Well, let me ask Leroy Jenkins said, if you buy any of the bullshit either of these two are spewing, you're flipping delusional. Which particular thing, Leroy, which thing do you think is BS? That people should not have the right to make mistakes and do that, or which particular thing? I mean, you come in and make a blanket statement like that with no he said, what about, Black Cat Lover said, what about the video you made with Marshall calling everyone suckers for donations for that car you were posting?
They are. First of all, everybody that's smart enough, that's got a head on their shoulders, would know I've bought that car with my own money. Okay, that is not made from YouTube's money. It's not Marshall's car. Obviously, everybody knows I don't make money on YouTube. I don't collect donations or make, so it's my personal car that I bought with my own money, you know. Marshall doesn't even give me money to put gas in that car, and all of his money is strictly from YouTube. So that car technically has never had any money from YouTube go into it, be it the purchase price or gas or anything, you know. But
yeah. You don't have a monetized channel. You've never done any.
No, I've never received a dime from YouTube. Yeah. You know, if Marshall ever paid for my lunch, that would be like I received some money from YouTube, because of his money is from YouTube.
Hey, Lynn Mitchell, how you doing?
That day hasn't come yet, so.
Yeah, so man, I'm definitely asking the questions, but I'm just interested in Leroy Jenkins, what he was came in. And then let me ask, I have an interesting question for you. Did he have any career aspirations when he was younger that you remember? Maybe in high school?
He said something about when he was a kid, he wanted to be a archaeologist or paleontologist or some shit like that. He wanted to dig up dinosaur bones because that was his thing. I don't know. He liked dinosaurs and dinosaur bones, and as a child, obviously reality set in. You're a Middle Eastern kid in the middle of bumblefuck Arkansas. There's no resources there to become a paleontologist. So
I've known a lot of Middle Eastern people out here in California and through my life, particularly Lebanese and Jordanian and Israelis, and few people, and there's some Syrians too, and a lot of Turks, but few people have ever been as culturally, and when I say culturally, Narsa, I'm talking about ancient civilization, culturally tuned in. It's almost like if I came on and raved that I'm speaking for, the Irish of Ireland before the potato famine in 1846 or whatever the hell it was. I mean, he talks about Assyrian culture. So I kind of get the connection about paleontology and archaeology. He seems very fascinated with the cradle of civilization, the Tigris and Euphrates, and Babylon and Mesopotamia and all that. So that's interesting that you mentioned that. Let's see. Leroy Jenkins says the whole fucking story. It's so see-through. Make drama, coach the participants, reap the views and notoriety of it all. Well, Leroy Jenkins, I had no idea that Narsa was coming on tonight. I mean, he's an over-the-road trucker.
I had no idea. I was just on YouTube waiting for these people to give me a call so I can get the truck in the shop. And I said live. I said, let me see what he's babbling about now. And he started spewing about, God and stuff. I said, okay. Guess I've had enough of this.
Yeah, so I don't, Leroy Jenkins, I mean, I have to respectfully disagree about being scripted. And then when I saw Narsa was on, I rarely have a chance to see him when he's down and he's online. I mean, it's a rarity. A couple weeks ago, he popped on my chat, and who in the hell Berg stuff that dusted over top of you that night? Remember that, Narsa? You didn't get a word in edgewise on that freaking stream. So I was determined tonight to be able to talk to Narsa. And but trust me, Leroy, there's nothing scripted tonight. I don't have a chance to really see Narsa. I don't have a chance to find out what he's doing in life. And I've also asked him about what he's doing too. You know, I have more interest besides just what Elvis Travel's doing. I care about Narsa a lot and what goes in his life. I care about his family members. Particularly in knowing his sister Janet and his mom. So, you know, cut me a little bit of slack here, okay? It's not like I just rolled into this in 2019. I've been rolling with this crew since 2014 here. So, you know, scripted.
You've met my Aunt Janet in person, haven't you?
Yes, we met in Chicago. We met. Yeah, we had a real good meetup down there. I was real happy.
Have you met my mom?
Yeah, I met Tony. No, I didn't meet your mom. I didn't meet your mom. I saw her on a video hookup, but I didn't meet her in person over there. I like your sister. She was really level-headed. You know, I knew Tony at the time. I don't know if they're still together. I mean, I go all the way back when your sister Janet was, when your Aunt Janet was maid of honor at the wedding way back when, and the only time your brother, your uncle ever wore a real suit. And you remember that? You remember that event? I don't know who in the hell in your house got married or whatever. So hey, there you go, Monique. So I'm just respectfully telling Leroy Jenkins that it's not. Well, why would we do all interactions? Leroy Jenkins said if you really cared, you'd do all your interactions offline, not in front of everyone on YouTube. Don't you think people are enjoying the content, though, Leroy Jenkins? Is there something that's offending people here tonight when Narsa and I are talking? You know, we carry on a civilized, you know, conversation. It's calm. I mean, Narsa doesn't need to be all jangled up before getting back on the road and shit tonight, so. He already got his yell fest out earlier tonight, so
yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to say, Leroy Jenkins rarely has a positive word to say about any chats I've noticed. Impertinent bastard said no one normal enjoys this. Well, you guys, just 227 people just got called abnormal on the chat here on the side tonight, so. Yeah, so I think people enjoy the content. This is somebody that's been known to the community for a lot of years here on YouTube. Well, it is content, Leroy Jenkins. What would you call it? Why can't it be content? I mean, I can't, you know, what am I supposed to do? I just think you're misunderstanding what the whole point of YouTube is. You know, it's a video sharing platform. It's the largest media platform in the world for sharing video and yeah, Colleen says I just wish Marcy could get a life coach on a better track. Colleen, are you volunteering for that position? There you go, Monique. Are you enjoying? Thank you, Deborah H. Thank you. Yeah, why would anyone put up a live chat or video if it was not about content? Exactly. I would hope that most of my stuff has content in it. I mean, I always get confused by people that put that down. Yeah, it's better than pumping gas, watching someone pumping gas and unlocking a door. Yeah, that's it. Texas All-Star. Thank you, Chicago. Yeah, if you're enjoying this, just give a little shout out that you're enjoying it. And too many people want to direct other people what they should enjoy and not enjoy, who they should hang out with, who they should not hang out with, and take control over people's lives. Thank you, Jackie. You know what I mean, Narsa? There's just people that I just think they wake up negative in the morning and they just feel terrible about being on planet Earth. You know, and it just blows me away. It would just eat at my insides to not wake up and be a positive person in the morning. So I don't know. Yeah, thank you.
I'm positive as long as I'm not woken up out of my sleep. If I have to wake up to an alarm clock, it's going to be a pretty crappy day. But
keep on trucking, going down the road. Do you ever put that on? Yeah, a whole lot of miles and a short time to get there.
Oh yeah, all those driver songs, yeah.
Narsa, I'd be fucking blowing that out the window, going down the goddamn Texas highway, man. Woo, El Paso, baby.
Yeah.
You really got me thinking about this trucking thing. Maybe in springtime. I sure as hell wouldn't want to be out there in wintertime doing that fucking training and stuff. But I'm going to think about that. So I could say you're the one misunderstanding the purpose of YouTube. It's not the best for personal interactions. The fact that people choose to watch doesn't make it right, normal. No, it may not, Leroy Jenkins, but it does make it watchable, which is exactly what YouTube is about. So, yeah, Jerry Reed, that's it. Love that movie. Well, Narsa, you probably, how's the situation on your truck? Can you spend a few more minutes, or you wanna wrap it up, or what do you feel like doing?
I'm gonna end up wrapping it up here because I want to go out in the shop and check and see what all they're up to with it. They should be almost done with it. I'm gonna go back and park it and shut it down and go to sleep. I had to drive very far in a car with two other drivers. We took us like 26 hours to get here, and we drove it straight.
Wow.
We slept a little bit while somebody else was driving, but it was miserable. And
look, love spending time with my nephew. Jen was thrilled to see you on cam tonight. She really enjoyed your raging Cajun this evening here. Don't be a stranger around, man. People love seeing you on YouTube, and I'm proud as hell that you're living an exemplary, going out there and being on the road and making some money and putting coin in your pockets. So much love to you and all your family and everybody, and stay safe on the road, okay?
I will. Thank you very much. And tell Anjan and I love her and I love you, and I'll talk to y'all later. Everybody on YouTube, y'all have a good night. Be safe, and we'll catch y'all on the next hangout. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right, and there goes Narsa, the king of trucking, right there. Thank you, Keith Thompson Jr. That was awful sweet of you. So we'll stick around. I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to stick around a few more minutes, and we'll wrap it up. Yeah, thank him, Mike Moore. So when I wrap it up and say, when I look at the family and I be almost like a peripheral family member, it's a great family in a lot of ways. There's some awesome people, and there's times that I just love being around Marshall and the stuff he does, and other times you just want to dive for a foxhole cover because you can't believe what's happening. But Narsa is one of those guys that is so driven to be successful. Thank you, Denise. I don't know. I mean, I keep these two images in my head all the time, and I'm like, I want to push the one to be like the other, but the basic nature is not there. I'm going to get something to drink. I'll be right back. Okay. He is a very nice guy. He's done some crazy shit on here, but don't get me wrong. Woo! One thing I can tell you is I don't restrict people's right to speak here on the channel. You know, if they can speak things in a doesn't have to be constructive without being super harsh with F-bombing and C-word and all that, then anybody can take criticism. And to Bergs, you've called me multiple times on the phone tonight. Bottom line is, I've invited you to panel up a couple times over the last week or so. We could hang out. You told me straight out, point blank, that you did not care to go on panels in 2019, that you were done with them. I can't keep walking shit back all the time. Because the last time that Narsa was on, and you're always welcome on my channel, but I'm just saying tonight, you know, you cannot be the show tonight. Okay, this guy came in, he stopped at a truck stop, he jumped on, he did his rant, and he came over here to spend some time with me, with a quality hangout, with a nice discussion where everybody could come in and express their point of view. I don't think anybody, got their ass handed to them in the chat tonight. So you cannot come in. And by the way, Juice, nice to see you. You cannot come in and just expect to jump on. You don't know Narsa. You don't know any of the history. You don't know any of the people that are involved. You don't know the back history. Colleen said, Rosie, what do you think Marshall should go from here? I guess the reality, this is going to probably break your heart, Colleen. There's no choice but to just keep going forward and trying to build a YouTube career. And then all I can say is good luck if you think you're going to continuously paste money out of people and fish for that. You get what you get. And I think that there's just enough success, and it doesn't have to do with what I'm doing. It has to do with the money that's being fed in, the 99 cents, the $1, the $2 here, there. It's not my place to tell. I would not dare tell people that are donating that money, all of them are doing it just for a shit show. That would be disingenuous, because that could be very wrong with that. There's some people that may genuinely enjoy the content. Anybody that watched the flea market video today, we had a good time watching Marshall put on some crazy African shirt. I was afraid he was going to buy one of those veterans hats, vets, you know, and put the vet's hat on. And then I would have jumped on a fucking plane and come down to Florida and snatched that thing off of his head. And you know, shame on that flea market for selling. You wonder why we have stolen valor issues and things like that in that nation, when you can go on to you can have a flea market and stock that up with Afghanistan veteran, with real service ribbons and theater ribbons and all that stuff on it. Couldn't even believe it today. United States Navy vet, Vietnam veteran. I wonder how many people buy those fucking hats and wear them around. But anyway, I digress a little bit. I'm sorry. The stuff with the vets kind of gets me triggered a little bit. But I think that's what's gonna, you know, like I said, people of YouTube will make or break you. That's correct. The audience is vast. But the audience, and this is the thing I would tell people that just want to come on with pure hate. There's pure hate driven by a motivation to try to move somebody to a better circumstance in life. In other words, I want you to feel so bad about your experience that I want you to change direction. Okay, there's motivational hate. You know, but then there's hate just for the sake of being a hater. Transphobic, homophobic, that type of hate. Now, the good news about YouTube is the cross section of YouTube is mostly pretty nice people that don't have to be nice because they enjoy anonymity, right? They can be behind. I don't know who Chicago 204 is. I don't know who you know, Spirit's Heart is. Just that there are nice people, nice persons on YouTube. They have perfect anonymity. They could come in here, as a few do, and attempt to make my life miserable. More do and attempt to make Marshall's life miserable. But they come on here and be positive about the experience and try generally to lift people up. Now, they're turned off by cussing, calling people names, belittling people, hating on women. But see, that contains the seeds of its own demise. You know, good people, the decent people, they roll on. They hang around, they see the show, they go on. Other people hang around, they care about what's going to happen in the end run. They endure that kind of thing. I kind of put myself in that class. And I defy people to say, well, you just used it for this or that or the other. No. I've been here since 2014 when things were very tiny. And I feel the same way today as I did back in 2014, 5 years ago, when this whole shit show pushed off from shore. This whole cruise ship took off. BK said, hi, Rosie. How do you feel about Marshall constantly calling himself your son and saying you think of him as your son? I've never heard you express that sentiment. He latches on to people very quickly. I think in a lot of ways, because I probably have known him the longest on YouTube, and he's burned up so many other bridges with other people that it's kind of like the last person standing. And I claim that there's some things that I've talked to him about in person on the phone that have made him steer away from choices and doing things that would have been really bad on YouTube. And there's many a night I pick up the phone and say, you know, I would talk about this tonight. Use this as a positive talking point, not a negative talking point to do this. 2019's coming. But it's hard to overcome that, woo, I'm the dirtiest player in the game mentality, that WWE. Because at the heart of it, he really does have a good heart. But you know, something gets very, very mucked up in the translation. I couldn't believe that, Greg Campbell, when I saw that flea market today in Florida. And shame on them for being allowed. I just can't believe our government just allows symbols of service to be just peddled like fish in a fucking market, in a flea market in Florida. I just cannot believe that our government doesn't take steps to, you know, it's free speech to represent. That's right. Having said 54, I'm a positive person, but when it comes to Elbow, he deserves nothing, you know? And having said, I respect you 1,000%. And I'm not giving. I told everybody frankly and honestly, I would give my labor, I'd give my time, but I don't give money. And that's the way it is. I don't want to be able to have people say you're donating or supporting or doing this. I watch the same as other people watch. The only thing I do is talk and try to see what the future holds and things like that. But at times I do enjoy being in there and watching the content. No, it's, and Gary, you know, I'm a dick, you know, in a lot of ways, because I'll see this behavior unfold, and any right thinking person says, how can you stick around? How can you just be there? How could you think about meeting him in person? And I just think in life, you know, everybody, I don't want to see something bad happen to somebody in life. I'm not going to go down to a dark place here, but I don't want to see, we never really know. We all put up that facade. We all put the game face on. But let's take a moment and just look at the realities of life with a little bit of compassion and say, you know, at the end of it all, there's not really a lot. It's a kind of situation that when things go south in the economy, which I fear they are in a major way right now, you could really be up shit's creek without a paddle. I'll let you connect the dots on that. Yeah, that's right, Ghetto. People, in my opinion, the average intellect of people on YouTube that are watchers and side chatters is tremendously underestimated on YouTube. And I've told people in Hangouts, from Vinny G to Tucker, years past, that I think people look at these people on the side chats as if they're some type of social misfits or something. When in reality, it's like the people that are on, you know, that are doing lives and medias and videos and content, we're the ones that are really kind of out there. And I try to remind people, we got retired people here. We got disabled people. We got people that enjoy social media and hangouts and that type of interaction. And I just think that the lack of respect, sometimes people think that people are dumb. And remember, most people that watch an Elvis Stick or somebody else's rants on their channel that's raising money, they don't give. They don't give a dime. Let's do the math. If 200 people are watching a hangout and a 2-hour hangout, and 5 people donate, you're like 2.5% of the people. It's like, in other words, almost 98% of the people never reach for their wallet. Yeah, Colleen says, I'm a loner. This is my personal interaction. See, we're all not all here. We're not all like, you know, as I get famously accused of, we're not all media whores. You know, we don't all need to be in front of the camera and 24, like Rosie, you put up 7 videos a day. Well, this is, you know, for me, it's my life. But for you, it's not. Yeah, we put 2 and 2 together there, Matronista. We put 2 and 2 together. That means 98% of the people that are watching that show are not moved by what they see. They're moved by the entertainment value of interacting with their friends. Good old trolling and a few laughs. That's a really scary way to build a future. But some people want to be very low. Some people want to live a very simple life. They food, shelter, and clothing. Thank you, Colleen. And the other thing I do is I try to stand my ground on YouTube. I try to just stand my ground. The easiest thing to do would be to, and it would be right in a lot of ways. And Joe King would say, and Kitten Cat, and a million people would say, "You finally got it, Rosie." If I was to, throw Elvis under the bus and spill the tea in a major way one night with tea that, would blow the roof off of, if I had that kind of tea. But in my heart, I can't do that. So, yeah. That's true too, Joners. See, that's it. Okay, I was simplifying. Joners, you're 100% correct. There's a lot of people that give that don't do anything. No bell goes off, no super chat goes off. You're 100% correct. Well, let's double it up then, Joners. Let's say instead of 2.5%, let's say that just as many people give quietly. So 10 out of 200 people give. You're still at 95% of the people don't. I think the average church collects on the collection from about something like 36% of the parishioners, I think, in the Catholic churches that I was part of, somewhere between 36 and 42%, if I remember correctly. It's between 25 and 46% of people give through weekly envelope or just chucking a 20, like I just would toss a 20 into the collection basket or something like that. I mean, it's a much higher average than 5%. Oh no, Joe King said the other side of the coin, you would say the same to us if we were to switch to loving on Elvis. No, I don't think so, because I know the ground you stand on, Joe King. I know the principled stand that you take about women, about degrading people, about rants, about using God in money raising. I know exactly where you stand. But the ironic thing, Joe King, is as a vet, you did pick up your rifle, your pistol, to hold up those values of giving people the freedom to do that kind of nutty stuff in America. But I'll tell you again, Joe King, life has a way of putting you on that on that anvil and beating you into the position that everybody else is in at the end. You might be sadly woeful that you don't have a pot to piss in, but you'll be at the same point as everybody else in your life. You'll just have the sad recognition of what you don't have, while other people are still enjoying what they do have. That's right. Joe King says, and I gave myself the freedom to stand where I will. That's exactly correct. So, that's where we stand on YouTube, where people have the ability to do that and to, to make those kind of there's a lot of content I see on YouTube. You know, I see some of these people in bands. I see people doing. I was watching the 10 craziest YouTube stunts where people killed themselves for views. You know, a guy that went up to the arch in Utah. You know, the big arch, right? It's huge. It's like 20 stories tall or something, and wanted to jump off and swing through the arch on a rope, and made his rope too long. So when he jumped off the side to go swinging to the arch, he just went straight down to the ground. Or these dumbbells that do the roof walks. Watching this guy in China do chin-ups on the side of the building. And all of a sudden the recognition that the building side is smooth steel and he can't get a grip on it. And he just loses his grip. Or an asshole that takes off in a rocket car and is going to jump, 20 cars and ends up instantly dead when he overshoots the ramp and the car just goes over and lands on the roof. Yeah, the Darwin Awards. There's so much stuff that it's just a different theater, different movies showing of just crazy. Yeah, the Stairway to Heaven on Oahu. Yeah. I remember this one idiot on a German TV show. He had spring blades on the bottom of his feet, and as the car would come before him, when he would jump on his spring blades and jump over the top of the car was coming, and he came down right on his face and broke his neck, and he's in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. That's what I'm saying, Matronista. When you struggled, struggled, and we communicated for weeks. You struggled mightily with the terrible thought of losing Smarty Pants, your husband. And then to just see the things these idiots do, give up their life foolishly, that's doing something for views. That's precisely why I've laid low, Matronista, because you need time to grieve. You need time to put your life back together again. You need your friends here on YouTube, of which you have many, but you need time to grieve. You need time to get your system adjusted to the shock waves that have hit you. There's a lot of shit going on in the community now that's not making YouTube. There's a lot of people in a really fucked up way right now. Big time. Like I've never seen such a confluence of stuff. So count your blessings if you have good health and you have a couple dollars in your pocket. Yeah, I saw that juice. I saw that. Greg, I don't know why you timed out hid. Okay, thank you. Must have been friendly fire for a minute. Yeah, because Spirit's Heart's one of the sweetest gals on here. Junker's like, I blame all this on the invention of television. You may have something there, Junker. Oh, Tammy Wooten, you're wonderful, honey. I'm glad to see you in the chat. So, Joe King and I will probably always be on different sides of the issue. But I'll tell you one thing I'm happy about is that Joe King is a proud vet. So I hold him in kind of a higher order of YouTuber. That's it. Colleen says, I'm thankful that I'm a simple woman who needs nothing and wants nothing. Well, Colleen, I really don't know how. No problem, Jay Greg. Yeah, I really don't know much about you, Colleen. You know, you kind of came out of the blue, but you made a pretty big impact on the community here. It's pretty wild, actually. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and close it down tonight. I want to thank Narsa. He's probably watching still on the Hangout. Thanks so much for being along tonight. Matronisa, when I get over Jen's surgery, probably in mid-February, you know, we can get give you a little advice. Okay, yeah, send her an email. Matronisa can use some friends. Monique, love you, baby doll. Mwah. Joe King, thank you for being you. BK, good night. Deborah R, good night. I'm feeling good, Oz. Feeling good, honey. One week plus post-surgery. We're getting Jen towards surgery. Thank you, Black Cat Lover, Kim C. Kisses, and Maybell, Marina Curie. Yeah, Matronisa, sorry for your loss. Joe King, there's always that next live chat. And let me tell you, I'm the dirtiest player in the game. And Rosie O'Kelly there. Good night, Johners. Nice to see you. Good night, Joey D. Good night, Spirits, sweetheart. Missy Jenn sends her love to Junker. Good night to you. Keely. I hope I'm saying that right. Kevin, I guess it's Kevin in South Carolina. You're lucky you live in a great state, my friend. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Oda, all the other hammers out there. Appreciate it. Deborah R. Y'all have a good rest of your evening and a great day tomorrow.